The Tinternet.
We are live.
Are we live?
What's that weird cat?
And when is this weekend?
It's this weekend.
Uh-huh. And how much does it cost?
It's free.
I see. And when is it?
It's this weekend.
And what are you charging for this free weekend?
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad that's
Well.
sorted out.
We're live.
Yeah, so we're ready to start then.
We're good to go.
I'm ready. I'm good to go.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Here it comes, baby. We're starting this thing.
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers. Juju, Jimmy, other fellas will tell you about
So,
it.
as you guys gonna ask me about my hat?
Reviews and an indie pick.
Got a new hat.
Story time and Jimmy's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite saviors.
Derek. Derek.
It's the veteran gamers.
Kiss my big Springfield behind Shelbyville!
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
Hello and welcome to episode 703 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
The Veteran Gamers Podcast. Yay! 703. I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
And I'm Chinny.
And he's back,
he's-
people.
he's back.
The boys are back in town.
I'm back.
Yeah, he
Back.
was in Uzbekistan. Is that where you were, Chinny?
Welsh pool, very close. But
Welsh pool. It's
Welsh
just
pool.
very much. It's the Uzbekistan of the United
Wales.
Kingdom.
Wales.
Yeah. Right.
So whereabouts in Wales were you?
Welsh pool. I literally just said
Ah,
Welsh pool.
Welsh pool, yeah.
I literally just
Well, he
said
thought
that.
maybe you were just
I
swimming in a
don't-
Welsh pool.
I
so-
don't actually believe
very
that's a
confusing.
real place, just saying.
Welsh pool is a real
is.
place.
It is a real place. It's
just-
just that it's spelled with 17 L's
called
and
Welsh pool.
34
Yeah,
C's.
you totally just made
So
that up.
It's not. It doesn't look like it's pronounced Welsh pool. It looks
Welsh
like it's
pool.
pronounced.
It's very close to the border. It's just in Wales.
What up,
Population 6,764. Very small place.
Ah,
I taught in a
interesting.
place that had a population of 2,000. So that's a small place.
Welsh pool.
Welsh
Welsh
pool.
pool.
Who knew?
What was the best thing about Welsh pool?
Looking after my niece.
Yeah. Was it a Verbo or a Airbnb?
We had like a big house for all the family, and
Yeah.
yeah, basically we just stayed at the house and had barbecue and food, and we played pool, and we went in. Me and Simeon went in the jacuzzi after all the.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, you did. You and Simmy got it on.
You know, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Fun. It's good fun.
I can't blame you because he's a good-looking and funny guy. Just saying.
I was with him
He's-
yesterday as well, Simeon. so,
Yeah.
you know, he's,
Yeah.
He's a bit of a weapon, you know. He's got the double combo.
yeah, he's got it all. He's got it all.
He's got it all
Yeah.
going on. He's got it all going on, as Simeon.
So yeah, but he's a dad now. He's a dad.
Yeah, he can't be a
Is it a
dad.
dad bod?
He's
a
far too
dad.
funny to be a
He's
dad.
a dad, and he's a dad on the way.
He's a what? A what?
Dude.
He's got a second child on the way.
Second child on the way.
On the
Procreating like crazy.
Holy cow.
We're just spawning babies in this family now. We're just
I know,
playing
what the
it
hell
up.
is going
Thunk,
on? It's like
thunk.
Baby City.
Yeah.
Anybody out there know what thunk is a reference to? Holler at your boy.
Yeah, good luck with that. So, yeah, Welsh Pool is fine. You know, good weekend, relaxing. You know, nothing
Cool.
stressful. All good.
Excellent.
Glad to
Oh,
hear
no.
it. I got a
Oh.
story time.
My
Oh, here we
favorite
go.
time. It's story time.
Story
The
time.
Duchess has 5 new chickens, but that's not the story time. Here's the story time. A couple weeks ago, we went out for dinner, and the Duchess ordered a stout. She really likes some thick beer sometimes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it came in this very funky glass. It's like a goblet-style beer glass. And she was so enamored of this beer glass. I was like, man, I wonder if I could find those beer glasses. So I
Oh,
found them
why
online.
don't you just nick it and just steal it? Put
They
it
were
in your bag.
$40 a piece. And I
Holy
was
cow.
like, damn, I love the Duchess. I don't love her that much. But eBay to the rescue. Oh, yeah, I got 5 of them for like $50. So look at these. I got the beautiful, magnificent goblet style glasses. I'm drinking out of it now.
It would have still been cheaper to steal it, just saying.
What
Yeah,
what
some
is
of
it
us aren't
about?
criminals.
What is it about, like, It's weird, isn't it? The thing you drink out of makes a difference. Isn't that strange?
I know
Yeah,
it
it is.
does, but it's like I don't know. I think the fact that you can hold it in so many different ways, and it kind of makes you feel
Yeah,
like
it makes you
Macbeth,
feel
like
different,
fill
doesn't it?
full and
It's like
yeah.
there is nothing illegal with drinking wine, but not in a wine glass. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing illegal about it.
Oh no, it just doesn't feel the right way.
It just doesn't.
It
feel
doesn't
right.
breathe the same. It doesn't
That's-
breathe the
You know
same.
what, Sid? That is bollocks.
It doesn't
That is
breathe. You've got to give
absolute
it plenty of air, man, to get the
bullshit.
flavors.
There's just as
come
much
out.
air
Wine
between
connoisseur,
the
right into the
surface of the
show.
wine and the
Yeah, get
upper
fucked.
atmosphere in a pint glass as
No.
there is in a wine glass.
I
Go-
was a
go
wine
bollocks.
connoisseur, and now I can't drink wine. So you know,
So you could talk about the nose of a wine.
I,
and
d- I
It's
could.
got great
I
body,
could.
yes. You shut
it's
the
got a very oaky afterbirth,
f- what are you talking
Okay.
as Michael Scott
Tannins,
says.
all them nice tannins. That's what you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Oh.
fuck all that shit. I'm glad you got
by
your
the way-
glasses, Duke. They look good.
No one gives a shit.
Yeah, they're fun. So that's the story. I got some glasses, and I surprised the Duchess. She came in with a box and was like, she goes, of course it's the Duchess. So she goes, I have a big package for you. And I'm like, no,
Oh, yeah.
it's not for me. It's a big package for you. She's like, what are you talking about? And I showed her the glasses, and she's like, oh, how sweet. And then she goes, and look at this cardboard, because she's always on the prowl for cardboard because it helps with gardening. And so
Oh, yeah.
we went to buy a refrigerator recently, and at the refrigerator place, she was like, "Y'all got any extra cardboard?" And the guy's like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, right out
got
back."
loads,
She-
baby.
Oh, look at all this cardboard. She came home. Our car was filled with
frolicking in
cardboard.
cardboard.
Oh, I bet
She
it was.
was.
I bet it
She
only
really
did
was.
10 miles once she filled it with all that cardboard because of the extra weight.
Yeah, it was pretty slow, but that's okay. If you have an electric car, you just plug it in.
Can I just say, I watched a movie this week that.
for
Is
you.
it the new Black Mirror season?
No, well, it was a bit of a strange movie.
'Cause we
can I just
watched
say.
that.
No, not yet. But
Okay.
this is a movie that I should have probably watched years ago.
Star
I said
Wars
to
Episode
Kay-
4: A New Hope.
No. And I said to Kay, this is meant to be one of the best movies ever made. We should watch this.
Apocalypse
know what
Now.
You know what that movie was? It reminded me of Primer to an extent.
Really?
It
Okay. What
did.
movie?
But more mainstream. It's a much more mainstream movie.
What movie?
But it's got Primer vibes. The Prestige.
Yeah, The Prestige is good. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody call it like the best movie ever made.
It's always in the
good.
top like 50 movies of all time and all
Yeah,
that.
but it really shouldn't be. I mean, it's fun. It's well made, but it's
It's pretty clever, you know. It's pretty clever.
it is. What the fuck is that?
That's a fucking motorbike.
Shinny's
Is
getting
it
shot at.
Oh,
actually in the room with you?
No, it's my motorbike driving past.
Holy crap!
Some dude just come through your
That
window.
sounded
on
like
a
a
motorbike.
drive-by shooting or something.
Yeah, it did.
So The Prestige. The best thing about it is the narration. Every magic trick has three distinctive parts.
Yeah, it
There's
does.
the start, there's the middle
The
bit,
setup,
and there's
the
the
setup.
prestige. Right, there's the
setup.
prestige. Because Michael Caine has a very distinctive voice, and he has a very good monologue there. It's a good
Oh,
movie.
I thought you was doing
liked it.
Christian Bale.
Yeah. That's it.
Hey,
Why are
and
you
the-
in my line of sight? Get out of my light line.
And I do think the late David Bowie was pretty good in it. Just saying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, not as good as he is in Labyrinth, but he's never going to top his Labyrinth.
No, he was pretty good. But I was quite impressed. I was like, yeah, it's a pretty good
It's good,
twist at
yeah.
the end, you know. But I
Yeah,
kind of
sure.
figured it out. I kind of figured out what was
What a
about
twist.
to happen. But I didn't know
well.
why. Can I just say, for anyone who's not seen it, I'll not give too much away because it's a pretty
No
good ending.
spoilers.
I like the twist. I like the twist in
Yeah.
that film.
No, I didn't say. I sort of knew what were coming, but didn't know the why it came.
Hmm.
If it,
See,
so
and
it
we were
was-
talking about this with regard to the new season of Black Mirror. Like, audiences these days, storytellers are in a pinch because a lot of audiences, like, when you watch The Prestige, the whole time you're just sitting there like, I'll bet it's this, I'll bet it's that. And there's a guy named Rust Hills who wrote a really good book about writing who said the problem with mystery as a genre is that it tends to put the storyteller in competition with the audience rather than in cooperation. And I think that that's one of the problems with some of the new Black Mirror episodes is that it's all, kind of.
That's a really posh way of saying when it's a mystery, you just keep trying to think what the mystery is.
Well, exactly, and that makes the experience less enjoyable for some
it's
audiences.
better when a film that you don't think has a mystery has a mystery.
Yeah, right, sure. Or you can have twists or not, but I think you need to have really interesting characters along the way. And The Prestige has okay characters.
Oh yeah.
But the new Black Mirror season doesn't have as many good characters as it should. So, I mean, not that any Black Mirror episode really has great characters. San Bernardino probably has the best.
All we're watching
Anyway.
is Narcos, so I'm just in cocaine cocaine shipment movie.
Do you know the first?
Well, I was
series
funny you
of
should mention
The
cocaine.
first
I was
two
just
seasons
reading-
of Narcos are great.
Well, this is Narcos Mexico.
Yeah. So we started watching that and then got distracted by something else. You know, like
Doesn't
I
sound
do.
like you, Stu.
I know, I do with telly shows as well as video
What-
games. Believe it or not.
Amar has requested. Where have you put? Where do you have her? Where do you have her locked up? And where is Two Face? I want to know where he is.
That's
Anyway,
Christian Bale's Batman.
That's
But
Christian
he's-
Bale's Batman.
He's more.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You've seen that video, right, with the parody?
He also
You
says,
have a
"What are
very
we all
severe case
drinking?
of
What are
throat
you
cancer.
drinking? Do you
Yes,
just
I'm
want
drinking water out of
water
this
for
goblet.
you? Chinny, what are you drinking?
I got squash, and I've got a mini fridge over here
Ah,
with a can of Coke in it.
Kind of go.
Okay.
And I've got.
Speaking of cocaine, sorry, go ahead, Stu.
I've got. Yeah, don't fuck about that. Who gives a shit what I'm drinking? No, I've got pretend pale ale. It's alcohol free.
Okay.
Well, it's
Ghost
sort of
shit.
0.5%. Half a
Wow.
percent proof, but it's good.
So it's like on The Simpsons when Lisa goes to Apu's like, here's a secret staircase. She's like, what do you do if somebody wants a non-alcoholic beer? You know, it's never come up.
It tastes pretty good.
Stu's the one who goes to
It's
get it.
close to ale. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sex in a canoe.
So
Cocaine. I was just
Cocaine.
reading a book about Amish people, and these
What,
two kids
cocaine?
got. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were involved in a sting operation to take down this biker drug gang,
All right.
and they put the wire in their big Amish hats, and so that
Okay.
was pretty interesting. So
well, you wouldn't think to look.
maybe there will
would
be some Amish narcos at some point. That'd
There
an
would be
interesting
good.
show.
No, they were good people to wire because you just assume that they wouldn't have any electric.
That's
on.
exactly why they
It's so
caught the
clever.
drug gang,
It's so
is because they
clever.
were like, these people have cash on hand, they don't work with the cops, like they're perfect, and they're naive as hell. The investigator said, my daughter in second grade knows more about drugs than these 20-year-old men.
Yeah. That's good. Good.
To be
So,
fair,
yeah.
there's a dude in the UK just been arrested for trying to smuggle in £23 million worth of cocaine in his truck.
That's not that much cocaine.
It's a pretty
I'm
hefty.
just
It was
kidding.
something
I'm
like
just kidding. That's a very
385
large amount of
kilos.
cocaine.
385
I'm kidding.
kilos.
That's a huge amount of cocaine.
Yeah.
I was just being
23
the guy
million.
on 30 Rock.
Y'all
know the guy on 30 Rock?
No, because I've never watched 30 Rock, and you should know this by now after podcast.
Well, maybe you will
None
one
of
of
us
these
have
days.
watched 30 Rock.
Hey, here we go. YouTube. I got it. Hang on a second.
Oh, no.
It's like
No.
4 seconds.
That's not that much cheese.
Look at how much cheese I have in my mouth. That's not that much cheese. All right.
Brilliant.
Should we talk about video games?
Sure.
I think we should.
Okay.
Where are you going?
not?
Story time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
To make Chinny happy, I've played the abbreviated version of it.
I like
Wow,
it.
that is a shortened
Yeah.
version.
Good, I
right
like
there.
That's
Good.
right.
Good.
Yeah. Who's
Uh,
starting?
Stu, I don't know. You start.
I don't know. I was just,
Tell us
I'll
about
start.
Dinkum. What
Oh,
you
go
up to
on.
in Dinkum? Who's moved into your island?
Well, I've got the shop, man, right?
Yeah.
Last week I said I like Dinkum because it's not like a mortgage simulator.
Yeah,
So you're not
that's
paying
true.
off your house. It's kind of not true.
Well, yeah, your house you're not
fucking-
paying off. You're
you
paying
pay
off
off
every
every
other building
fucking
on the
other
island.
building on the island. Instead, fuck
Yeah,
just
it's
one
true.
house. Let's give you 20
Yeah.
to pay off.
And you have to. It's
Christ.
crazy because you're on a deserted island. You provide the materials to build the fucking
Yeah,
house.
you've got to go
and yet you
fucking
still
collect
have
all
to
the
pay for it.
shit.
Why are you paying for? What are you paying for? You don't
What?
own the land. It's communally owned.
You see,
The
I'll tell you what.
materials you provided.
I thought Tom Nook were bad. He were a fucking saint compared to this bitch. I tell you, she's like, fucking go and get me some shit, and then you can pay for it as well, even though you've collected all that shit. Fucking.
Yeah, but hang on a second. Here's the question though. Do you have a
Oh.
metal detector?
Not yet, no.
See, once you get the metal detector, dinks are a piece of piss. You will be drowning in money once you have the metal detector.
Well, I
Which
better
is true
bloody
for
have
real
be.
life.
That's
Yeah,
true
I
for
better
real
bloody
life.
have
As
be,
well.
I tell you.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
No, it's true. It is crazy how much you have to.
You
put
can tell
into
this is
that.
made by an Australian because there's a shark in a small lake.
Yeah, there is.
And he comes
And
up
there's
on land
crocodiles
sometimes.
chase you as well all the
Yeah,
time.
the crocodiles are a bastard. I hate the
Yeah, they
crocodiles.
are.
The first time
I
played
just
it.
run away if I see a crocodile nearby.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
that's the
I'm
best
out of
way to
here.
come in. Yep.
But yeah. I
Oh,
can
here's
talk-
the other question. What's your weapon of choice? Because there's three main
I haven't
weapons in
built
this
a
game.
weapon yet, so I'm still
What?
I'm still not even at that stage. I'm
Wow.
still
You got a
collecting.
spear, you got a cricket bat, and you got a big hammer. Those are
Yeah.
your three options.
Well,
And then
I'm,
you can
at the
upgrade them as you
moment,
go.
I'm building the shop, so I've put the shop up, you know,
Okay,
and I'm
sure,
going to collect all the materials for the
You got
shop.
the foundation for the shop.
Yeah, I've got
November.
the foundation that's in place, and now we just go and get all the shit to build it. So
That's right.
that's what I'm doing. I'm wondering, it's a good time waster, this game. It is
Oh, yeah.
very,
Oh, it's a
very
great
good
time
at
waster.
wasting loads of time
So good.
wandering
So
around, hitting rocks with your pickaxe
Yep.
until you nearly like faint, and then you've got to eat bananas.
Yep.
But other than that, it's pretty cool. I am having fun. I'm having
See,
fun.
for me,
Great.
I like the because I like Stranded Deep, didn't I?
Yes, you
like,
did.
desert island and you got to gather resources. This is all too nice for me. Do you know what I mean? I need the
The rough.
the rough. I need it to be
The
like
rough.
you're gonna die.
This
Yeah.
is not very rough.
No.
No, it
It's
isn't.
all too
Apart from
nice.
if a
It's
crocodile
cutesy,
eats
it's
you.
fun, it's chill.
Yeah,
it's,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Not
You
for
can
me.
get hurt, but even if you die, like you just wake up in your bed. I think. I don't remember.
Yeah, you
Which
just
is
wake
like-
up back in
which
your
is
tent.
What happens in Australia, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
No one's
Yeah.
ever died.
Well, there's, I mean, but there's not really much dangerous stuff in Australia. So
No one's ever died in Australia. Everybody just wakes back up.
It's,
No, they get bitten by
you
like
wake up
a
in New
snake
Zealand
or
and you have to swim back.
Portuguese man of war. They're
Oh,
fine.
bloody hell.
One of those
Jesus
funnel web
Christ.
spiders. Not a problem.
What a fucking headache I've got. And then they just
Yeah,
swim back.
then they're all hunky dory again. Yeah, it's like nothing
That's
happened.
right.
Stingrays, they get killed by that shit.
So
So
Dinkum
Dinkum.
is
Thumbs up.
Yeah, I like Dinkum.
it's
Do you
still
know what?
Dinkuming.
Yay.
For a tenner, it's good value for money. I only paid a
Heck yeah,
tenner
man.
for it in the sale.
And they
I
keep
was like,
updating it. Like I said, when I went away from it for a few months and came back, it felt that there was so much more stuff in it. And yeah, I'm so impressed by how much love the person has put into it.
No, I like it. I like it a lot. I can
James
definitely
something, isn't it?
wholeheartedly recommend this for a Steam Deck game. Because it almost
Yeah.
gives you those Switch vibes
Why don't you
because
just
you got it on
recommend
your
it
Steam
for a
Deck.
game? Look, just
Just
James
in general,
Benden
I
is
mean,
his
but
name.
it's great for on the Steam Deck because it doesn't use a lot of battery power and you can just
Fuck
sit
the
anywhere
Steam
and
Deck.
play it. Oh, fuck off.
fuck.
Just because you want to fucking play on your console sat on your couch.
Yeah.
Well, I was sat in my garden playing this
Yeah.
game.
James Benden. That's the guy.
Yes, James Benden.
Well, we made it. I was like, what are you going on about?
James Benden.
He's a good. You don't like James Benden? He's some guy.
James Benden.
He's a nice chap.
James Benden.
He knows how to make
Leroy
it.
Benden. All right, so
Okay.
who's going next? Am I going next or
Yeah,
Chinny
go
going
next. I don't know.
All
Ginny's,
right, I'll go next.
Ginny's probably not got
Uh,
anything to talk about, so
fuck
you better
you.
go.
Stu's been
Fuck
talking about
you, Stu.
Dinkum for the past 3 weeks. I'm not the type of person to play
0.1%.
the same game over and over again.
pal.
I've been playing Rocket League and Fallout 4 because they're both great games.
Ah.
And here's I haven't talked about this before in Rocket League.
Oh God.
Oh,
real
there's
quick.
nothing you haven't
Here's-
talked about
No.
before in Rocket
Hang on a
League.
second.
No.
Here's the thing.
Dude,
Here's
no.
the thing.
No, go on. Let him
If-
do it. Let him do it.
Go
Go
on,
on.
go on,
Suppose Chinny couldn't make it this week,
Yeah.
and we had someone we'd never had on as a guest host before. Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that person says, "I'll be there Sunday at 8:30." Okay.
yeah.
But you check in on Friday, you don't hear from him. You check in on Saturday, you don't hear from him. You check in on Sunday morning, you don't hear from him. Do you trust that he'll be there, or do you just start getting somebody else?
Look, have they confirmed once?
Yeah, but it was like 4 days ago.
Yeah, no, I trust they'll be there.
Stu?
Possibly. Depends who it is.
No, it's someone you don't know. It's Fred.
Oh, no, definitely not then.
If
See,
they've
that's the thing.
confirmed, if they've gone, yeah, I'll
But
be
they
there.
but
on
they
Sunday.
confirmed 4 days ago, or they just said, "Yeah, I'll be there," but they didn't ever follow up confirm. My point is this: when
Go
you're
on.
playing Rocket League, if your teammates going toward the ball, but they're hesitating, and you've seen your teammates in past games screw things up and not get to the ball in time, you're inclined to go for the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Even though your teammates are already going toward it.
Yeah.
And so, but if you do, then you're double committing, which is a really bad idea. So it's this constant balancing act if you're playing with randos about whether you should trust them or not.
Can I just say, Chinny, he's not serious about this game, though. Just say.
Yeah,
It's
stop
not that
trying
I'm
to-
not
stop trying to
serious.
wind
It's
him up.
that I try not to take myself too seriously. That's
It's
the key.
just, I don't know. It's just playing with randos is so like. It's
Yeah, why are you
just-
playing
I've
with
done it a lot.
randos?
It's such a luxury.
I've done it a lot, and it's tough because again, if you're too lenient with them, they'll just keep screwing up and they won't learn from their mistakes. If you're too harsh on them, then they might freeze up and become nasty and stop playing or whatever. So it's like, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, the point is, I've had to tell myself multiple times this week, like, because I'm down in Plat 3, which sucks. I should be in. I live in Diamond these days, but whatever. I had some bad games where I didn't play well.
I'm a diamond
had some-
player.
I had some. Well, that's the thing. Rank is not a fixed point. It's
I
a
wouldn't
strange
get
attraction.
fucking seen with a platter.
I wouldn't go out unless I was diamond encrusted.
Sorry, Dick.
So anyway, Rocket League is fun. Yeah. Fallout 4 is great. All right, so
Fallout
let's get to
4.
the meat and potatoes of this week.
Yeah.
It's Next Fest on
It
Steam
is
for like 1 or 2
Next
more days.
Fest.
Okay.
And for those of you who don't know, Next Fest is a smorgasbord of demos. There's all sorts of demos for games that are coming out later on.
I'll be
And
honest.
so
Can I just say something?
dove
I,
in.
I like this better than Steam sales a lot. A
Okay.
lot more. I just think
you
Steam
know-
sales are so fucking predictable these days, and
Well,
there's
a bunch
nothing
of
that
games go on
cheap.
sale,
It
dude.
doesn't seem that cheap. I look at stuff and I'm like,
Well,
it's
you're
still
so
20
wrong
quid.
about that. I don't know
Still
what you're
15
talking
quid.
about.
Fuck it, I'm not
No,
buying that.
Stu, you're
Well,
talking
for
about
what
things
is
that are
15
not
quid?
Next Fest, right?
Yes.
So Stu, just to make that clear, Stu was talking when Steam do sales that are not Next Fest. It doesn't feel like you're getting a discount. However,
No.
on Next Fest, it feels like you are getting a discount. That's what.
Well,
Stu
you're not
was
getting a
there's no
discount. You
discounts
just
on
get
Next
to play.
Fest.
You just get to play a load
It's just
of shit.
it's a bunch of demos
Okay.
that are being released.
Right.
And
It's
so
like-
far as
it's
I can
like
tell,
going to
they're
the
only
indie
available
part
for
of-
this week.
It's
Yeah.
like going to the indie part of Eurogamer. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You just get to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
a little,
That's kinda
little
the way it is.
crazy games.
Yep.
Okay.
So anyway, now that Stu's done complaining about how Steam sales aren't cheap enough,
Steam sales are shit.
dude, what are you talking about? You're so wrong.
Don't take
Whatever.
the fucking.
I
bait,
just shouldn't respond to anything.
Don't-
Like,
don't. Yeah.
don't talk to me about Rocket League.
Don't talk to
Don't
Stu.
engage me about Steam sales.
Don't talk to him.
Ignore him on everything.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
so here's the
next
thing.
fest,
They
next
had a
fest.
whole bunch of demos, and I downloaded like 20 of them, and I played as many of them as I could before today. The
Okay.
first one I played is called Escape from Mistwood Mansion. Can you guess what game this was heavily influenced by? Here, wait, I'll answer that with this prop I have over here.
Oh, oh.
Go ahead, guess.
It's like a escape room.
Yeah, but what classic game is it based on?
What, Escape from Mistwood Mansion?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What
Oh, no,
game?
is that what it was called? The original one? I don't know.
No, but it's got that in it.
Oh, look, the
I've
haunted
played
mansion.
this
The
game
haunted
a
mansion.
lot.
What?
No.
I don't know. We don't
I've
know.
played this. It's okay. I play this game a lot. It comes out in a new version like every 2 years.
Okay.
One of the only
No.
one
sorry.
of the only games I've ever bought like swag for.
Look, Mist.
Mist?
Yes, Myst. Good.
Oh my
Chin, you got
God,
it right.
really?
Hooray.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't look like
What do you mean,
Mist.
really? What? Yeah, Mistwood.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like
in the
Mist.
title.
Yeah, it
That's
doesn't
why I
look
didn't
like-
get
are
it.
you
It doesn't
sure?
look-
Well,
this
I
is
mean, it
based on
kind of
Myst.
does, but not really. But anyway, the point is, this game was clearly influenced by Myst. It is an escape room. It's puzzles. You know, you got a phone, you got numbers, you got a remote control that has no batteries, you got signal for Morse code. You know, like a decoder for Morse code. You got ticket stubs and all sorts of stuff. The demo is just the first room.
Yeah.
And I ended up writing down stuff in my notes in order to like solve certain of the puzzles.
Okay.
And for the most part, the puzzles are pretty elegant. But there was one part where the TV is showing you something, and it's something in the room you're in, and I could not for the life of me figure out what it was. So I was just really frustrated by that. I had to go look it up online, and I felt stupid about that. But to be fair, I think that the TV bit is stupid, so it's, you know, whatever.
Yeah, so you
My
didn't,
bad
when
for
you
not-
found it out, you didn't go, oh, I wish I could have got that.
No, I didn't. Because I feel like I don't know. It wasn't as distinctive as it should have been. So anyway, otherwise it's very good. I think it's polished. I think it's well made overall. And I'm not gonna. I didn't put it on my wish list, but you know, if this shows up for a $5 or a $10, I could see myself getting it.
I look at it and feel like it should be a 5 or a 10 to begin with. Just saying.
Why is that?
I don't know. It looks like one of these cheap escape room games. I don't feel like it's anything special or new or different.
It looks like
Well,
well
I
made.
agree
It
that
looks
it's not.
like-
Yeah, it looks
special
all
or
right, but it
different,
doesn't
is
look-
well made.
It doesn't look like it's worth more than a couple of quid. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. Okay.
How much was
Yeah.
it big?
Well, the demo is free.
Yeah, but how much will it be?
Have they
I
got a
don't know that
price?
the
for
game
it?
is out yet, so I couldn't say how much the game is. But
Okay.
let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, let's have a look. Have a look. See
So
if
for
it's...
the audio listeners, you know, it's got like a book with Morse code, and then like the lamp is like blinking, so you gotta work out what the lamp's saying. So you some sort of mysterious.
Here, wait, mute this site. Oh no, that's already muted.
office.
It's coming out in Q3 of 2023. There's no price listed, so
No.
we
Well,
don't.
maybe
know
maybe
how
it
much
will be
it
that
is.
price though, Stu. You know what I mean? Maybe it will.
I
be
think I think this might be around, you know,
like
the
a 5 or
10
tenner. Like it's,
tenner, yeah, maybe.
tenner's probably like the most they could push it.
Yeah, I think he'd be struggling after that, but you never know. We never know.
But it
We'll
depends
see.
on how long it is as well. Like the art style, I don't think there's anything wrong with the art style. It's
No.
kind of basic, but it's not bad.
No.
It's got polish. And you know, it depends on like how much game you can expect to get.
Oh, we'll
'Cause
talk.
I guess.
We'll talk about bad art style. Don't be worried. We will talk about
Okay.
that. this
Oh, we
episode.
will.
Don't you
Oh.
worry about that.
Oh.
Je ne suis pas.
There will be a game
ennuyeux.
that I will pick on that we will talk about tonight. That we'll have
Maybe we
about
should talk about it
art style.
now.
I don't know.
Are we gonna get into it now?
If you want.
We can do.
Okay. Welcome to Play My Game, bitch. The part of the show where we all play one game. This week it's the most French game ever created.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Dordogne.
Look on,
Dordogne is how it's pronounced. I think. Like, they would not be more French.
I
if
actually
they
thought it
all
was
had berets
Dordogne.
on eating fucking
It's not
baguettes and shit.
Dordogne.
No, it's
Dordogne.
I say, is it not Dor?
No.
It's Dordogne,
Dordogne.
isn't it?
Dordogne.
I always
Who-
thought it was
first of
Dordogne.
all, who gives
Yeah.
a fuck? Because really,
Well, I'm pronouncing it the way that they pronounced it in the game. So
I was going to let
can
you
take
two
it-
talk about this first before I like chime in, but I might as well do this now.
No, go ahead, chime in.
I fucking hated
Go on.
this.
We knew you.
Oh, why,
I
you
fucking
mean
Yeah.
person?
hated
I hated it too. To be
I
fair,
hated it. Right, as soon as it started, I was like, "This is fucking ugly. I hate it."
How's
The
it
art
ugly? It
style-
looks like a
it's so
water
impressionistic.
painting.
Yeah.
It is like a water
It
painting.
is like a
That's
wall
not what
painting
you want in
by
a video
fucking
game always.
5-year-old, right? And I hated
It's
it.
not.
And it's not
I
just a
liked it.
watercolor. It's
Yes.
like it's a watercolor where the colors are running because it's
Like the
raining.
first
and so
scene
they
for the
show
audio
it with
listeners,
the-
you're looking into a car. You're in the back seat for no fucking reason, and it's raining on the windscreen.
She's
and you-
sleeping in
Oh,
her
who gives a
car,
fuck?
dude. That's
Who
the
gives a fuck,
reason.
right?
She's asleep
And
in
then,
a
like,
car,
You
man.
bloody open a bag with your bloody cursor, and then you.
But
read
wait, Chinny,
messages on
here's
your
the question though.
phone.
Wait, Chinny, here's the question.
Fuck.
Wait,
Wow.
how do you go about opening the bag? You just
have
click
to
on it and it opens,
drag
right?
it open, like.
You know that Amnesia door opening
It's like
mechanic?
you're
What if
opening
that was
like
the way
a
you did everything in this game?
It's like you're
Wouldn't that be
opening
awesome?
a fucking pop-up book, and it's awful.
It is an impressionistic
It's
method
awful.
of I'm the character of this
Now,
game.
I
My
know,
name is Jean
I know British people.
Francois
I know
Jacques.
British people don't like the French, but fuck me, you can at least try when you make your games because
you don't
I just feel like a French.
understand
They
because
just went, "Ah, this will do." Gives a fuck.
you have to put yourself in the moment where
And
you're
then you-
lifting the flap of the bag.
And then you like even when you read a letter,
does
you
that
have
one
to
say?
lift the letter.
What's the other
up and-
message?
Of course, you must lift the
Something
letter
like
out.
useful.
You cannot
And then
just
you have
click and
to-
the letter appears.
Then you have to like shake the fucking marble. Like I'm not interested in these games
you
where you've
must
got to
get
like
the key.
turn the fucking thing and lift the thing and then take the thing off and then shake the thing and then pick the thing up and then open
You
the
have
gate.
to remove
So
the screws
to
off the
open
back
the
of
gate, you have to
mailbox.
lift the fucking latch. I'm like, no,
You
I
just hop
don't.
over the gate. Like, why not just hop over?
Yeah, but I
It's a
don't have to
very
lift
short
the
gate.
fucking latch. Like,
Yes,
you don't
because you,
know.
but you,
It's
you are
ba-
there
your
in the
game
moment.
is boring, and you just put barriers in the way, all right, to make it like seem like fun.
But
this
here,
is bad.
the truly magnificent thing about this game is when you start the game, we have a thing that has never been done in a video game ever. The person is like, I spent 7 years in this house, but I don't remember
I
it
don't
at
remember a
all.
thing."
I have no memories
Oh,
of
great.
anything.
And then,
no
like-
game has ever done this.
And then you think, oh, Chinny, you can't be that harsh. The story must be interesting. Well, fucking wait for this because some bitch is dead and no one cares and everybody's dead.
My grandma
and,
has some secrets.
and then you have to,
and I
like-
must find out what they are.
Then you have to
but I
put-
can only find out by going back to my childhood
And then
when
you-
my horrible father abandoned me with him, maybe with her over the summer.
I feel like you're enjoying doing that French accent way too much.
I very
Yeah,
much like
right.
doing the
Then-
French
and then
voice.
you play as a child and then you unpack your clothes and I was like, fuck this. No.
Yeah, you would
But when
definitely
you unpack
not.
the clothes, each stack
No.
of clothes is connected to a memory,
No.
a feeling,
No.
an emotion.
This is not a
And
game.
so it says sorry
You know
over
what?
those
This is not a
clothing.
game.
Whoa.
Chinny,
whoa.
Stu, you
I
are
don't-
wrong for liking this
Stu,
game.
Whoa.
It
I
sucks.
have a
I need
It
to
is a
interject
big
here.
I
I'm
have
sorry.
a
No,
child
shush.
on the way.
How
I
do
don't
you
have
say
time to waste my
this game
shit.
sucks?
Stop it,
For
Duke.
God's
Stop
sake,
talking.
shut up
right.
for a
I
second.
don't have time to waste.
Oh my God.
I don't have time to waste my shit on this.
Here's the thing, right? Duke's shitting all over this, but he fucking liked unpacking. I'm sorry, you
Different.
can't on the
No,
one hand.
different.
No,
Yeah,
it's not
no,
fucking
it
different.
is different
It's
because
boring
as
as
soon
all
as you
hell.
click on the
That
thing for
game
unpacking,
is the
it's
most
there.
fucking
You
boring
don't have
game I've
to
ever played.
slowly
You haven't got
open
this in the
the
right
switch.
I
place.
haven't
Let's fucking
played.
put it in the right place.
No.
It's the most boring thing ever.
No. I haven't
bollocks.
played.
You're talking
I
bollocks.
haven't played
No, I'm
unpacking.
not.
Bollocks.
Right? I haven't played unpacking, so I'm not defending unpacking. But I did when I was packing those fucking clothes and that thing. I was like, this kind of looks like
Yeah,
unpacking.
that's unpacking.
However,
if you want to do that
however,
shit, you need to do it in
No.
fucking
However,
form.
There's another
What?
difference as well. Go ahead,
unpacking
Shin.
isn't from
Opening
what I know.
boxes.
From what I know, unpacking isn't fucking riddled with this. Let's read your fucking text messages and
Yeah,
let's,
amen to
you know what I
that.
mean?
And you also don't have heads popping up with boring dialogue along the
and
way.
also you
and
don't have the
Wow.
worst fucking art style in the world
No,
thrown at
That's
your face.
true as well.
There's no
And in
dialogue
unpacking, you
in
get to
unpacking.
choose
Can we
where the
just
stuff
clarify?
goes.
You just unpack boxes.
I
There's
just
no
That's
dialogue.
fine.
I really
You
love
get
the
story
fact
along the way.
Boxes.
that this
It's
is probably
boring.
the most
That's
heated
boring.
debate about this game that anyone will ever have. Do you know what I mean? On any other show, they'll just go, I played that to gone, it's kind of all right, I don't know, who cares? We have a full-on argument about
No,
it.
because it's fucking
With two different
honestly,
dialects.
Stu, go
The
on
best
then.
thing about this game is here's the
Go
best
on.
thing about this game. The grandmother says dinner's not ready yet. Why don't you go draw in the living room
Yeah.
in the paper that's in the living room? And then you go and you draw on the paper in the living room. She comes in and she goes, "Not that paper in the living room! Jesus Christ, Grandma! Why don't you be more specific there? What is
Fucking
your
idiot.
fucking problem?"
Dude,
Yeah,
so
well,
Stu,
she's
go on,
obviously
go on
horrible.
then,
At
say
that
some
point, I was
stuff.
like,
I kind
Done.
of liked it. You know, I kind of liked the art style. I thought it
Yeah,
was
what a
kind of
shock.
cute. It's very positive on Steam, by the way, and has good reviews. So you
what
two
the
are
fuck
in the
do I know?
minority.
I don't give a shit
when
about
does
them,
that
Stu.
matter?
You're
Make
in the
your own
minority.
opinion, Stu.
I do feel
Yeah,
like
really,
Duke-
we're not wrong just because we have
Sometimes
a
I
different
feel like
opinion.
Duke though just says stuff for the sake of saying it, rather than having a proper formative opinion on something.
Yeah, well, what about me? I
He
say
just
stuff all the
shits over-
time.
Well, you're the same. You're the same
yeah,
quite
but
often.
like I'm right.
It's not a fully formative opinion. You're just shitting on it.
No,
for
no,
the
I'm
sake
not.
of
No,
Like,
I have a formative opinion.
My opinion is
My formative
I
opinion
don't
is
think
looks
you
the
do.
game
Trash.
concept
think you
is
do.
derivative and trite.
I
The
don't think it
idea
is.
that you have no memories of anything is so
Yeah, well, do you know
overdone. I'm
what?
so
Do you
sick
know what,
of games
Duke?
like
That
that.
might become evident later in the game as to why that may be. I
Well,
don't
is
know.
there- it does, will it become evident in the game later on why it looks like
Gone,
fucking
Gone
shit?
Home's okay when you're just wandering around the house, but this isn't.
Now, the
I-
art style is
I'm
a matter of
sorry.
opinion. If you don't like a pixelated art style, you're not going to like Unpacking. If you don't like a retro 8-bit style, you're not going to like Stardew Valley. And so Chinny's allowed to not like
Yeah,
the art
you're
style.
all
in
right.
this
No,
game.
no, no.
That's
no,
a fully
whoa.
formed opinion.
Whoa,
That's
whoa.
not just shitting
No,
on it for the
isn't.
sake of
no,
shitting.
No,
on it.
you're wrong. Because
Really, it's not an opinion.
Let him
Let me
talk,
Not a
Stu.
finish
That's
before
right,
you
Duke,
fucking
let him talk.
Dude,
Let him
let
talk.
me finish.
We've got to
You
stop
never
talking
let
over
me
each other.
finish.
Right.
Never.
All right.
Just let me finish what I'm going to say. It's not a fully formed opinion because he just doesn't like it. That's his opinion, not like, but it doesn't mean it's shit
Yes, it
because
does.
he doesn't like it. I don't like lots of things, but they're not necessarily shit because I don't like them.
Yes, they
I
are.
don't like. Well, no, I don't like oysters. Everyone raves about oysters. I don't like oysters, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're shit because I don't like them. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's shit. I'm sorry, you're wrong, Duke.
But
Right,
Stu,
but-
no, here's
but
the
St-
thing. No,
oh,
no,
go
wait,
on,
wait.
Duke,
I
go
have
on,
to
go
respond.
on.
I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to respond.
Because
Okay,
that's
look,
what
yeah,
you're
and
saying.
let's
You're
Let's
basically
not talk
saying
over
it's
each other.
shit
Duke,
because he
respond.
doesn't like it.
Let's
That
not
is
talk
wrong.
over each other. Duke, respond.
Here's what's going on. Chinny is saying, to use your analogy, I don't like oysters. And instead of just saying, I don't like oysters, he's saying oysters are shit and anybody who likes them enjoys sucking down snot. That's a very
That could be
elaborate,
true.
exaggerated way of making the point, I don't like oysters, right? If you prefer to just say, I don't like oysters, but if you like oysters, that's fine. That's great. You're allowed to have that opinion. But it's just two different ways of expressing the
No,
same
but no,
basic
you can't
idea.
classify oysters as shit just because you don't like them.
I can.
I'm sorry, but you're wrong.
I don't know if you
You're
know who
wrong,
I am,
Duke.
Stu, but I can. Right.
You're
Can you
wrong.
classify
Speaking of
escargot
oysters,
that way?
this game is fucking trash, right? So, look, Stu, I'll be serious for a second, right? I am saying some things for comic effect, right? The art style I just didn't like it because I felt like it was too clashy, and the whole mechanic of just fannying about, walking around a house, opening a drawer. Like, I can do that in Red Dead, right?
Yeah, but that's the whole
I'm a
Gone
cowboy in Red
Home.
Dead.
This is what annoys me, right? That's the whole of Gone Home, but that's fine. You're
Well,
all right to get a tape
yeah, but
out, put it in a player,
I tell you
and
what,
do all that same bullshit,
Stu.
and that's fine. But this isn't. That's what annoys me because you
Stu.
like games like that,
Stu,
but you
Stu,
don't.
Stu,
That
Stu.
just annoys me. It's so fucking contradictory.
Right. Gone Home, I feel like if I played, like, when that came out, it was a time and a place. Do you know what I mean? And I haven't liked a game like that since. Because
No, and I appreciate that, but it's still the same
they're all the fucking
mechanics,
same.
though.
They're all the fucking same. And like when I reflect on Gone Home, I'm like, okay, it was kind of like a shallow experience in my opinion. I feel like it didn't really have that much substance, but you know, it's like a cool sort of way that I got through it. But I would look, ever since I've played another walking simulator, and I wouldn't even call this a walking simulator. I think this is different, but like just one of those games where you're just fanning about, like, you know, like someone's dead and all that, I don't know, and you opening drawers. I don't like those games ever since. I've never liked them.
Which is fine. I'm fine with you not
can't,
liking.
Stu, you can't
something.
get upset when I say rude
No.
things about the game you like,
No,
because we
it's
would
not
have ended
that.
this show
It's
15
when-
years ago.
No, I know. It's more what annoys me more is the sort of almost contradictory nature of what you do. You know, not
I'm
necessarily.
sorry.
this then.
Did you
How about
expect me
this?
to like this game, Stu?
No, I didn't.
So what the
Not
fuck
at
you
all.
How
talking
about this? How about this?
Not
How
at
about
all.
this? How about this?
But
If
it's the
that
contradiction
contradiction,
with other games you've played,
wait,
which is fine, then this is shit. You know what I mean? And I just it rubs me up the wrong way.
okay, how about this? How about this? When one of those seeming contradictions appears, maybe my approach is always to say, okay, wait, Chinny, you liked Gone Home, but you don't like this game, so what's the difference?
Well, I don't, like, why am I being some sort of?
And you already explained. You already explained what the difference is.
Like, I don't
So
give a shit
all I'm
about
saying
Gone
is-
Home that much. Like, I thought it was
Right,
all
so-
right.
Right. That's fine. So all I'm saying is there are sometimes games that I'll like that are one style, and the other games that I hate that are seemingly similar.
Yeah.
And then the question becomes, okay, what is it about this game that I don't? And it could be, as you say, Chinny, different time, different place,
Different
different,
time, different
mood
place.
I'm in.
You know.
That sometimes
Like,
happens.
like
I'm
for
just in a
example,
different mood.
you know,
And
Brawlers.
hang on a second. Let me finish one more point. I chose this game. I suggested this game because I thought it looked kind of interesting.
Oh God.
And for a while,
Jerry did.
I was holding on to it, and I was like, all right, I'm still with it. And then they got to the point where it was like, I don't remember anything about my grandmother. I was like, it just feels like that's been done so much that really made me angry. Go ahead.
You
Jimmy.
see, I don't know that. I mean, I can't understand why that would annoy you because I'm just like, there may be an interesting reason as to why that may be later on in the
But I'm
game.
never
We
gonna
don't know
find
because
out.
we haven't played enough of it to know. And I think that's why I withhold opinions like that because you're making an assumption based on a snapshot of something that
No,
you
I'm not.
haven't
No, I'm
played
not.
in
Here's
its
what I'm doing.
entirety.
I'd rather
It's
move
like
on. but
reading
since
the
you
first
asked-
chapter of a book and just classifying it as shit.
But hang on a second,
just reading
Stu.
one
If
chapter.
the first chapter of that book said, I'm an orphan, my parents were killed, I have a cloud on my forehead, and I'm going to go to a school for magicians, and wouldn't you go, this is a lot like Harry Potter.
I guess.
And wouldn't that make you less likely to want to keep reading it?
I don't know. It depends how good how well it was written, I guess.
Would you carry on playing this year? Are you going to carry on playing?
I'm going to carry on playing it. Yeah, I want to find out what's going on. I quite liked it. I like the
More
art
power
style.
to
I
you.
can't imagine it's very long.
Because you're calling me out for inconsistency, and you expected me to not like this game. And guess
No.
what? I fucking didn't.
No,
So I don't know what
I
you're talking about.
didn't expect you to like this
I don't know
game
what
at
you're
all.
talking about.
I didn't expect Duke to like it either, probably.
So
but
what are you talking about?
no, but it's the way you give your opinions, I guess.
Because it's funny.
Well, I don't think it. I
Over the
don't-
top is funny.
Yeah, I don't know.
And what I want to make the developer cry.
No, maybe you do.
I'm
Maybe you do.
weeping into my cappuccino.
Well, like a French person's never cried ever, so it doesn't really matter anyway. Well, they don't have feelings, Stu, so I don't worry about it, right? But like, it's just all this fluff, and I just, as soon as it started, I was like, I am not. It's got to be, really bloody good as one of these games go for me to really like it. And I'm, if say for example like other walking simulators came out before and then Gone Home came out, I feel like I probably just would have liked the first one because it was unique.
Well,
Right,
unless
and-
it was Dear Esther.
Yeah, it
I don't
was,
know, I've
to
never
be
played
That
fair.
did come out before.
But
Yeah, it
but,
did.
like whatever,
home.
like I was like, oh, that's like an interesting gaming experience I've never never had before. Okay, that's
Right.
kind of cool. But like ever since Gone Home, I've never been bought into this genre at all. But I would sort of class this as like what's that fucking franchise that you love that I hate? And it's fucking True Colors. That was the
Monkey
DLC. No, the True.
Oh, Life
God.
is Strange.
Life is Strange. I was like, it's kind of
Strange.
like that.
Sort of.
isn't it?
I
It's
mean,
kind-
it's a third person. Well, it's
it's
2D.
it's an adventure
kind of
game. This
like
is like spawned from
This is sort of an adventure
Walking
game.
Dead.
There's no
Life is
fighting, and
Strange.
there's the exploration. It's a slow game too, and that's the other thing is that like my preference these days is for things that are faster paced.
What's
Although Escape from Mistwood Mansion was not fast paced, so that's a
I
contradiction.
I think the thing that we've had to adjust to while we've been doing this show, because how long have we been in the show now? That's fucking scary.
Oh,
93
too long.
years,
It's like
too
no,
long.
it's 15 years. I think it's
15 years.
So
or something like that.
which is scary because I remember when we got to 10 years and we were like, oh, it's like we're almost at 20. So, so what we've had to adjust to is like when we started the show, a lot of video games were for like just all gamers, and now all the video games that come out are just not for all gamers anymore. Like if I gave this to somebody, like I feel like this is more aimed at like people who enjoy stories. Maybe women would like this more. Like Tara would play this more. Not to stereotype, but I think maybe like I know a lot of women.
No, I think you're right. I think younger players are probably
A lot of
more into
teenage
it.
girls love Life is Strange, and that's fine. Like I'm not saying like you can't like it, but like I know my niece and her friends all love Life is Strange, and because they see themselves in it, and it's a young girl playing it. And I just think these games aren't for me as much as like fucking Peppa Pig isn't for me. Not that I've ever.
And that doesn't.
Not that I've
to
ever
your
fucked,
point, Stu,
not
that
that I've
doesn't
ever
make
fucked
them
Peppa
shit.
Pig. But, right?
No, it doesn't
that
make
doesn't
Peppa
them
Pig shit either.
No,
No,
you're
it
right.
doesn't.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
just-
it's much more funny to say "fuck Peppa Pig." Peppa
Yeah.
Pig can go eat shit
Stu,
than
if
it is
you-
to say I happen to not like Peppa
Well,
Pig.
it was Duke who picked it. So if Duke forces me to watch Peppa Pig, I'm going to fucking shit all over it. Right?
I
So
don't know,
back to my
forced
original
to
quote.
Play
fuck
is a
this
bit
game.
much.
Alright.
Yeah. So anyway, that's one thumbs up from Stu and
Yeah, I
thumbs
like
down
this
from
game.
me.
That's how we
I
should.
thought it was
That's how we
pretty
should
good.
do the Play My Games bitch reviews. Is
Yes.
is one
It's shit
one
according
up?
to Chinny.
No, 1 up, 2 down. It's 1 up, 2 down.
1 up, 2 down. There you go.
There you go. So
Okay.
sorry, Stu.
Ah, that's
Alright,
fair
so-
I
enough.
look forward to you
Chinny, what else do
pretending.
you got?
I look forward to Stu pretending to play it and then forgetting that he ever played it at all.
That is true. That is probably true. That's probably
So,
true.
Yeah. Me.
Yeah, you.
Me.
Yeah, go.
You.
You.
I played that Planet of Lana.
Oh,
yeah, I
speaking
need to
of Play My
finish
Game,
that.
Did you
Let's
not
finish it.
play it?
We
No, I
played
was
it,
playing
but we just
fucking-
didn't finish it.
Yeah, I've been playing bloody thingy games, haven't I?
Proper
Next
games.
Fest.
Proper
Next
games.
Fest.
Yep. So you talk about games that have like feelings and like, I mean, this is a lot of this is like walking about fucking doing nothing, right? If I
Well,
Yeah.
what you're doing is you're looking at the landscape.
yeah, but there's a lot of moments where the game you're just walking, you're just walking and
Yeah.
looking at stuff, and there's a lot of the game where you think this could be tighter, this game, right? I just saying like I'm shitting on it, but to be fair, this game is pretty flawless,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
Yeah.
There ain't much wrong with Planet of Lana. So for people that don't know, it's a kind of inside/limbo type game, very colourful, very sort of simple.
Which is kind of the opposite of Inside. And
yeah, it's a lot more colourful. You've got this like little cat dog thing that's very cute. And I think it ends really well. Like it ends, it doesn't have like a
Oh,
massive.
you finished it.
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah, so
Oh, wow,
it
okay.
doesn't.
No spoilers. I will finish it.
It doesn't have like it doesn't drag on too much, but
Yeah.
still, it still feel like it could be tighter. Do you know what I mean? It feels
yeah,
like
it could have been a bit
little
shorter.
And the puzzle difficulties I quite like the fact that like sometimes it's not like it goes from easy, medium, hard. It goes like easy, medium, hard, easy, medium, easy, hard, and
Yeah,
so it
yeah.
kind of
No, I
jumps
like
around.
that too. Yeah.
So I quite like that.
alright
And then there's some really tight timing bits, which I think
Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like.
I think
about the
Duke
part I
like
played.
the sum towards the end. I'm like, bloody hell, I'm not even sure I figured that out, to be honest. But
Yeah.
there's some clever mechanics that you can control like a robot at one point, and all this sort of stuff, and you can do cute things with the little cat dog thing. Maui, I think his name is. And it's good. It's just it's good. It's amazingly similar though to that Somerville game. Like,
yeah, but
look,
better controls.
it's better
God.
control. But remember in Somerville where they had like kind of like a light and a tune, like kind of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, like
Yeah.
And I was like, fucking hell, it's in this as well. Like it's uncanny, really, like how close it is. And I thought, like, could it even be like the same aliens? You know what I mean? Like coming in or something like that.
That'd be weird.
That'd be weird. And yeah, there's not a lot really that you can knock this game for. It has like some really cool little puzzles, little surprises, and that little cat dog thing is very, very cute. And
it's the perfect time to play
What's
this.
that weird cat?
Basically, what I'm saying, Duke, if you don't like your little partner to be in peril, it happens quite a few times in this, and you're like, oh no.
I'm sure, that's true. That's okay.
So yeah, there's like, I don't, as we all know, I don't cry during video games because that's for babies. But you know, my emotions will.
This one hit you in the feels.
I push it all down like a healthy male. You know, push all the emotions down. But
That's
like towards
right.
the end, I'm like, oh no, you know, like stuff like that. But it's not exactly what you think it might be. You know, like
Okay.
but it's yeah. I was like, oh, that's devastating. But it's really good. I just thought it was good. And again, you could class this as, you know, like whatever that doggone stupid fucking thing was, like very sort of colourful art style, female-based character, story where like you're just fucking walking around doing fuck all, lots of like looking at the background, feelings, emotion, same sort of boxes you're ticking. But this is a game. This is a game where I'm jumping around figuring puzzles and not fucking opening a drawer. Like, I can't waste my time doing that shit anymore. Like, honestly, I have had this like almost like an epiphany of like, I can't waste any more time, right? Because I started another game today.
Baby's coming.
Right, and I'm like, when the baby's here, I might have an hour free. I'm like, I can't fuck about watching YouTube. Like, I have to get going with games and
become more efficient.
And this year is a really good year for games. You got like Spider-Man 2, you got StarCraft,
Yeah,
you got all
some good
this
stuff coming.
And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking have to crack on here because I ain't getting nothing done. So I've had this kind of like absolute realization that I've got to crack on. So
yeah, you've got to get a lot of shit
can't-
done before
I
that
mean,
baby comes.
With these playing my games, but she's like, I'll give them a go. But like, if they don't grab me, I'm fucking done. I'm gonna be
That's the way I've
harsher.
always done them. Yeah, I mean, I play them just enough to be able to have an opinion, and it's not going to be a very well formed opinion.
No.
Fair enough. To
Well,
Stu's point.
mine never
But
is.
that said, it's a first impression opinion, so I think it's valid. For whatever it is.
But it's not a full games
review.
are, but you've got to fit your games around your life, and like
Right.
we're the sort
true.
of first generation really that grew up with video games, but also have to deal with life, right? So Stu, you've been through it. You've had a daughter. And you're on the other end now. She's getting rid of her now.
21, man.
21, bless her. And
21.
but you've
Any
had
day
to
now,
like,
she'll be moving out.
you've had to like balance
You're
life,
joking, you should be here forever.
balance life with video games and so on. So I've got to have to do that now. So it's like I can't fuck about. So you think I'm harsh now? Wait till I'm a fucking dad, because I'm gonna.
And then you'll resent the fact that you had to spend 20 minutes on Dordogne.
As soon as you show me Dordogne, right, or whatever, right, I'll give it 5 minutes. I'm like, fuck this. Like, I am not wasting my gaming time on this. So I'm gonna be even worse. So
Yeah.
But anyway, Planet Alana, pretty flawless. Honestly, it's really, really good. If you
This was a good play my game, bitch.
yeah. If you like
it was a good
the
one.
2D sort of puzzle platform games, it's not very long. You
I
can
think
like 4
what's
hours.
interesting for me, I've sort of played quite a bit of it, and I've really enjoyed what I've played
That's
so
great.
far.
That's great.
But obviously, I played and finished what we talked about a second ago last year. What the hell was it called again? The game from last year that we played.
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield. No, it wasn't Cloverfield.
What are you talking about? I don't know.
Field.
The other game we played that's
The
similar
other
to this.
one, by the inside people.
Inside
by the
people.
inside person.
Yeah, or one
Oh,
of them.
Somerville.
Somerville. I couldn't bloody think what it was. I had a mind fart then.
Cloverville.
But I just feel like
Outside.
this is more polished and just works better.
Yeah, this is a better game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to love Somerville, but I was just ultimately disappointed.
Yeah. I like the setting more of some of it. I think it's a cool.
I
setting,
did. I
but,
love the setting.
You know,
I thought it was so cool.
It's set in Britain and stuff, so that's all good.
But
But
it was just so clunky to control and not very clear what you had to do a lot of the time.
yeah,
I mean, I got to the end and I did enjoy it, but I felt like I could have enjoyed it a whole lot more.
it was just okay. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
the thing. It was just okay. Whereas I think Planet of Lana is like better than just okay.
Well, it's like 12 minutes. 12 minutes I thought was
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be amazing. And that was the biggest disappointment of the year for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it when there's a game that you think is going to be amazing, then it just doesn't quite do it.
So yeah, Planet of Lana, good. Give it a go.
Yeah, it's good.
I liked it.
Very good.
Really liked it.
Duke, back over to you, I guess.
Okay. So, yeah, the next Steam Fest, Next Fest demo game that I played is House Flipper 2.
Ooh.
Yes, I played this as well. So I played this
Yeah.
as well.
Now, Chinny enjoyed House Flipper 1, as I recall, to a certain
it was-
extent.
Yeah, it was okay.
It reached a point where it's like, and I think I've hit that with the main game.
Yeah.
Where you have these jobs where if people are, oh, my grandmother just died, help me clean out her house. It's like, I don't want to spend my time vacuuming up her cockroaches. Well, House Flipper 2 has, like, seriously, it's glorious. I wrote
Is
down
this,
like
what I
hearts
want to know is,
for my
though,
notes.
Is this representative of the game when you start, or is this giving you a snapshot
I don't
of
know.
what you? That's what I
don't
came
know.
away thinking, like, because you've got so much shit you can do.
Maybe
And
not.
I'm
There's
like,
so
maybe
much
not.
depth.
Yeah, I
first
was
game-
like,
I don't know if it is, but it may just be. I think this is like a level to show you, like, here's everything you will eventually be able to do. in
yeah,
this.
that's what I mean.
But that's okay.
Yeah, it's great though. I was very
It's
impressed.
so good because in the original game you had like piles of trash and you just click on a pile of
Yeah,
trash
I
and it
remember
just
that.
vanishes, right? Okay, in this game, it's kind of what we were talking about with Dordogne. You have
Yeah,
to
it
pick
is.
up. You have to get a trash bag and like click on each individual
no.
thing,
Yeah.
which sounds tedious.
Yeah,
and
and
it kind of is.
It
But
is.
for some reason, it's so gratifying.
It's
Here's
'cause you
another
clean-
example.
it's like,
Chinny.
it scratches that sort of
It
power wash
does.
simulator.
It's power wash simulator,
It
lawnmower
does.
simulator. Here's another example, and you can see it in the video footage. In the original House Flipper, and I feel now when I play this game, it feels like House Flipper 1 was just their tech demo, and they were
Yeah.
just figuring out the basic ideas. So in House Flipper 1, you buy the tiles, you put them down. It's a long strip of tiles, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you just put them up one long strip at a time. Same with painting. So if you wanted to use two colors on a wall, you could alternate stripes, but that's it, right?
Yeah.
Not in this
couldn't-
game.
By the way, I couldn't figure out how to paint. I couldn't get it to work. I was like, what am I doing
Well, not
wrong?
everybody has intelligence. The point
No,
is,
it doesn't.
I'm
I
just
got
kidding.
the.
I'm just kidding.
No, I got the paint roller out. It wouldn't let me do anything on the wall. I'm like, I
Did
don't
you
know.
buy paint?
I bought paint, but nothing else. I don't know how
Did
you
you put
it
the
in.
paint? Did you put the paint roller in the paint?
I don't know how to do it. It didn't tell me how to do that. So
No,
I
it did
didn't know.
not. But
See,
did
that's
you
where I
read the little
slipped up.
book that says? Wait. Did you read the little book that says "Painting for Dummies"?
Oh, fucking those books! I just got rid of all them things. I just picked them up and chucked them out, man.
All right, well then you can't complain that the game
No,
didn't tell you
it
how to do
shouldn't be
it
a
because it
friggin'
tried
book
to.
on the
It put a
floor.
book right there on the ground that said "Painting for
Yeah, but
Dummies,"
I thought
and
they
you
were all
said,
the
"Fuck
same.
this! I'm throwing it in the trash."
No, I
and
thought
then
they
you're like,
were all
"How
the
do you
same.
paint?"
The first one I picked up said "Building for Dummies," and I just thought they were all building for dummies because they all
Well,
look the same.
I understand why you might think that, but
So you just bring up a
next
good
time-
point. If you are a dummy, though, how are you supposed to?
I'm a
understand the book?
dummy, and it should have been more clear.
Here's my point though. In this game, you have individual, like there's a grid, and you could put a different tile in every single one of those boxes. So you can actually do some interesting tile work now, whereas in the last game it was just strips. So I finished doing this, and there's everything in the game is like that. Cleaning up, vacuuming, cleaning. In the old game, you had a mop and you just in order to clean, right? In this game, you have to spritz the cleanser and it goes from a sponge to a scrub brush and I was
Yeah,
so happy
Windows
with it.
squeegee. You can get Windows.
Yeah, well, that was in the first game too, but it was a much more laborious.
The other thing is
process in the first
you
game.
don't have to squirt the stuff on, but it just takes longer to clean.
It's right, exactly, correct. So the point is, I got done with this demo, and I was so in love with it, and I was like, I want to do more. When's it coming out? 2024. Damn it!
I know.
So I
saw
went
that.
back to the first one, and it's so unsatisfying because it's so
I know.
not.
I
really-
do feel.
yeah.
I'll be honest. I think they've been heavily influenced by Power Wash Simulator. With
Oh
this.
yeah.
Oh,
they've gotta
I'm
be,
sure.
yeah.
All these games are feeding off of each other. It's a
Yeah, they've
big
looked at that
echo
and thought
chamber, yeah.
we need to do some of that stuff. That stuff
Yeah.
works.
Sure.
And when
And
you,
it's-
by the
so
way, do you
this
know what's
game-
even more satisfying? The bottomless bin. You know, when you get
Yeah,
rid
oh,
of
it's
your trash,
very
you
nice.
go up to the
Yeah,
bin and
absolutely.
it just disappears. I'm like, oh yeah, just
Absolutely.
keep sticking this shit in the bin.
I
And you
can't.
can throw you can like play basketball. You can throw the bin
I'm
bags
gonna
toward the
put
bin.
this out there. I feel like this could be Chinny's next power wash
I
simulator.
can't justify playing this when you see the state of my house at the moment. Like,
I want to go on the yard work simulator.
I know.
When I try to get you to do yard work,
Ugh.
it's so good.
It
They
is
have hit a
good.
slam dunk with it, and they have the forum. You can give them feedback, and I was just like, "It's so good." I do. Here's one thing I do wish they would do, and I put this on their feedback form. So I'm not saying anything I wouldn't say to the developers because I have said this to the developers.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I wish there were a way to look at the wall and go match that color, because so
yeah.
far as I know, there isn't. You have an aqua colored wall. You want to paint, part of it or the other wall in the room the same color. You have to just guess, and that's a little bogus. So, and the other thing
Right.
is, but they did account for this in the game. It'll tell you on the screen, like, and you this is in the first one, and this is true in Power Wash Simulator. You've cleaned 98% of the dirt. Where the fuck is that last 2%? God damn it!
Yeah.
In Lawnmower Simulator, they did the genius thing of having it glow
yeah.
with the parts you haven't cut. I really wish. I guess they do that in Power Wash Simulator too.
Well,
but
there is
I really wish there was something like
what
that.
did he say? House flipper vision or something that shows.
Yeah,
you.
but I didn't really figure out how to use that, and maybe I
Did you
should
read the house? Clipper
Yeah, the
Vision
only
for
reason House
Dummies
I don't think
book?
Flipper
there is one of
Vision
those for
book.
dummies, but yeah. But I could be wrong. But I loved it so much. I was so happy with this. They did such
Yeah,
a good
and
job.
it's
House
quick.
Flipper 2,
It's
man.
very quick and
I mean,
easy to do.
I would
stuff.
get my house done a lot quicker if I had a gun that could just fucking get rid of a
I know it's
piano.
amazing, isn't it? Just get rid of all that shit.
I'd do that way quicker.
Magic would make cleaning up a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
more
yeah.
fun
Yeah, it
and
would.
easy. Agreed. So anyway, I'm gonna get this day one. I think.
I think this is a great demo as well. This is a go mad, do what you want, have fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really great way of showcasing the game. Rather than
Yeah.
putting restrictions on you or time restrictions or whatever, they've just gone, here's a house, have a go, pick what you want, buy what you want,
Yep.
just play around and have some fun with it,
Yeah.
And I guess there'll be a lot of different versions of this house by now, from all the people
Oh,
that
yeah.
played the demo.
That's the thing. That's the beauty of it is you have
Yeah.
so much freedom to do what you want with it.
Yeah.
And I went back to the first house flipper game and I was like, all right, I'm gonna flip a house and I'm just gonna do white, black, and red colors. And it was so much fun to make this house and I kind of felt bad about selling it. I'm like, I kind of want to live here now. This house is awesome. So
It
yeah.
is cool. It's
I'm in
cool.
love
But
with
yeah,
flipping
great
houses
job by the
virtually.
developers for this. So
Yep.
I
Good job,
predict this is
Frozen
going to do well.
Concept or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's going to do well.
Nice.
Right, I played. What else did I play? Necro Golf. Let's talk about that. If you want to talk about a shit game,
Oh yeah.
All right. No, you can't say it's a shit game, Stu. It's
I know
just a
I've
game
got-
that you don't happen to
I've got
like.
I've got very good reasons as to why this game is shit.
Go on.
Oh, well,
Can
he's
I
got
just
good
say?
reasons, so he's allowed.
Well, I saw the first 2 seconds and I can already conclude that this looks shite.
it's shockingly bad.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a game where you play golf with zombies on the course. So
Oh, sweet. Can you kill the zombies with your golf club?
you can kill the zombie, but you've got to get
Nice.
headshots. So you've got to hit him in the
Yeah.
head with the golf ball, which is
Awesome.
kind of fun, but also incredibly frustrating. So
Well, yeah.
So you've got to so you have this targeting system that slowly rises, right? And then you've got all these extra special clubs. So one's like a sniper club, which is even slower than the normal club, so that you can aim more precisely. But I took my first shot, right? When I got on the first hole, I was like, right, let's do this shit. And this is what happened. So I got on the course, I took my first shot. It then automatically transports you to where your ball went. And then instantly 2 zombies popped up.
Ooh.
And you've got literally probably 3 seconds to aim. And if you don't hit it in the head first go, you're dead. And it makes you start the course again, right? And I'm
Oh,
like,
that sucks.
so I did it again. I'm like, no, I'm going to persist. I'll have another go. So I did it again and killed the first zombie. Didn't realize another one was behind me. And that one then killed me straight away.
Ah.
So I was like, that's fine. I'll have another go. So I did it again. And you barely have enough time to kill both zombies that are attacking you. And I'm like, that's it. I'm done. And
It looks
Just want to
like
say, "F- this game, I'm done.
it looks
Yeah.
like a mobile phone game.
It feels like a
It might
mobile
have
phone
been.
game.
I think
That's
this
what
is
it
a mobile
feels
phone
like.
game.
Was this a demo you got on Next Fest?
Yeah, this was Next Fest demo. It sounded kind of fun. Zombies and
Yeah,
golf.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It did sound interesting, but
Nah.
It's just not very
Yeah.
well made, and it's too difficult, man. Make it a little bit easier.
Sure.
There's no need to have like on the very first hole have like 2 zombies instantly try and nosh your face, right? When you're trying
Agreed.
to
Don't say nosh.
Well, that's what
Don't
they tried
say
to.
nosh, Stu.
They tried
Throwing
to
nosh.
nosh me, Chinny. They were
You
noshing
know
me.
what
Throwing
people
nosh.
think when you say nosh. Don't
I
say
don't know
nosh.
what you mean.
Don't
But
say
yeah,
nosh.
they were
I
trying
actually
to
don't know
nosh
I
what
know
is
you
that?
don't, Duke, and you should be better off for it.
me.
Oh,
I
no,
think it's
I'm
more of a
Uh,
British idiom, but just leave it.
So
there.
yeah, I'm not.
Oh my
feeling
goodness.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't
now I
Google
know.
it.
Too late.
Yeah, don't Google it. You get pictures and everything that you
Okay,
probably
your
don't want to see.
algorithm's all off now. You'll get weird.
Yeah,
algorithms.
you'll be
Oh
getting
no,
your
trust me, my
internet-
algorithm's been fucked for a long
internet
time.
banned. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, Necro Golf is a thumbs down. People just say.
Okay. Don't play Necro Golf.
Yeah.
Well, never mind.
Chinny, back to you.
Right. I've been playing some Mario Maker.
Oh yeah, that game.
I like it. I like it quite a lot. I like the making levels. I don't know why I'm speaking like this. It's a
Why
lot of-
not?
It's like you with the
Yes.
French accent. It's just
And to
fun.
speak in different
It's
accents.
just fun to speak and different things.
Yes.
Mario Maker 2 is quite old now. It was like 2019 when it came out. But as I've said before, like I got my Switch back in a way because I don't pirate it anymore, so I can play Mario Maker. And I just love it. I've made a level, but I'm not going to publish it yet because I need Jamie at work. Jamie who does all that art, by the way. Jamie.
Oh, yeah.
Does all that art on the veteran game.
It is some really cool T-shirt designs, but who
Oh,
knows
yeah, I've
whether-
got something to
Who
show
knows?
you. I've got something to show you for those.
All
actually.
right,
Yeah, you little
okay.
smart ass. Yes, I did make progress on that. I forgot about that. Yeah, so I want him to test the level for me because it's got to be tight. Do you know what I mean? I've played it so many times now, and my level is tight, and I just love the creative process of making a level. And I loved it in Little Big Planet, and I never got into Dreams, but I feel like
I think
would,
you probably
I
would have
would
loved
have.
Dreams.
But
Yeah,
the
you
problem with
would have done.
Dreams is like it looked like an absolute well of like just pit of despair of like if you fall into that pit you're never getting out, you know.
Oh yeah, there's a rabbit hole you're never
Whereas
coming out
with
of.
Mario Maker, it's like it's quick. Do you know what I mean? Like I can just you've only got the 2 dimensions, and
That's a big difference.
and that's a big difference. And I'm working. I've finished this sort of. I call it basically. I try and think of a theme when I make a level. So I was like, why don't I make a level where you have to slide down a lot? Do you know what I mean? Like you're just sliding down all the time. And then, okay, what does that mean? Well, we're going to put enemies in the way. And then I found out, like, there's these little beetles in Mario that if they hang upside down, they fall when you go by them. I was like, why don't I make a level where you slide down a lot and there's loads of these fucking hanging beetles everywhere? So then you kind of create this theme and then you go from there. So my next one is, like, I don't really understand how claws work in Mario. Like, there's these claws that basically can pick up Mario or can pick up stuff and drop stuff if you're underneath it. And I was like, I've never played around with claws. I've never made a level with claws. So I'm going to make a level just with claws. And it's got like a claw theme and see where I go. Do you know what I mean? So the first process, the first part of my process is I just make a straight line, just a flat level, right? And I just put claws everywhere and I see what they do with different enemies. And I make them pick up and then I put one on a block and then I drop one and I put it on a conveyor belt, and I'm like, okay, what can I do with claws? And I put a parachute on one of them, and I was like, what can I do? And then I put a boss on one. What does that do? You know, like, well, can you put a boss on a claw? Like, what do they drop? Do they fall? So, yeah, it's just this kind of process of like, what am I gonna do? Like, what am I gonna do? So that's what I'm doing with my claw level. It's like it's not even a level. It's just an absolute hodgepodge of like bollocks. Like it's just not a thing. But my other level where I'm sliding, the one where I was like, I just want to make a level where you slide down a lot. That one's done. That one's tight, and it's got a little boss fight at the end.
It's tight.
It's tight. So, I know like Mario Maker's like 4 years old now, so I don't know if anybody plays it, but I will be publishing that level soon. So I need Jamie to play it, and then if you want to check it out, check it out. But but the other thing as well is that you've got like Mario 1, Mario 3, and Mario World themes. But you've also, on Mario Maker 2, you've got Mario 3D World themes. I never really played Mario 3D World. It's not a Mario that I know very well. So the next stage for me is to let's see what I can do with a Mario 3D World. You know, because you've got the cat suit, you've got different enemies look that I've never played with before. So it's just like a whole new box of toys that I've never touched. So yeah, it's just I don't know. There's something about using your creative brain. You know, Stu, when you're mixing your tunes, Duke, when you're writing, it's like you've got to exercise your creative muscle.
God.
Yes, agreed.
You like your creative muscle's got to
That's
be
what
let
Brene
out.
Brown said. There's no such thing as not creative people. It's just that
you've
it's
just got
there
to
and
do it. So
you
you know,
use it or you don't.
whether you're mixing music, whether you're writing, whether you're playing the drums, whether you're making
building an
art,
engine.
like if you're but making a level is still that kind of like
Yeah, definitely it is.
It's
Of course it is.
creating something out of nothing, and I just
Well, it's
love
out
it.
of your head, isn't
It's
it?
I
That's,
just
that's
love it.
what's cool.
But I love the process of like, this is shit, this is shit, this is shit. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. This is pretty good.
I think that's what I mean when you like compare it to DJing. It's like you could give the same people the same 10 songs, and everyone would come up with something different. The way
Yeah.
they mix it, the way they put them together, all that stuff would be different.
I always try and make like
Same.
Mario levels that look like they could be real Mario levels. You know what I mean? Like because some Mario Maker levels, they just look insane. You know what I mean? They just look like this. Nintendo would never make a level like that. So I always try and make mine look like real. And I played one of my old ones that I made 4 years ago, right? And fuck me, I have no idea. I have no memory of it, right? No memory of it. And I played it. I was like, "Fucking, this is really good. This is really good." And it's like a real level. I was like, and then as I was playing it, I was like, "I do remember this one actually. I do remember it." And I was quite proud of it. I was like, bloody hell, I did all right with that one. And
Do you know what?
There's still people playing them now. Like, there's like, every time I go on, it's like 2 more updates, 2 more people played your level. I'm like,
That's cool. I mean, this is the thing though. Like people, when you like Little Big Planet, for instance, people just used to make levels with 1 million bubbles in for you to pop and shit like that. That weren't real
that's
levels.
not stuff. Yeah, that's not stuff.
It's just people making shit.
You look at this guy now, like on the stream, right? So for the audio listeners, he's just using these like bounty pads that I've never come across because these are 3D world items, so that's different. And I'm like, okay, what do I do if I put loads of enemies on those bounty pads? Like, what happens? You know what I mean? Like, do they bounce? Do they not? Like, what can you do with bounty pads? And you just make a whole level with bounty pads, and you just see what you can do. And yeah, it's just interesting, just to keep going and thinking of stuff. And it's quick, it's on your Switch. You pick it up, you touch the screen. I do it for like 15 minutes. I put it down. I add another thing. It's so good. I've been doing it like lunchtime at work, and I'm like, boom, 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 done. Brilliant. I love it. Love it. Mario Maker 2. So good.
But it's good because it's like you said, it gets your creative juices
gets you
flowing,
thinking,
doesn't it?
yeah,
That's what it
gets
is.
you thinking.
That's what it is.
Yep. Mario
Very
Maker 2.
cool. Is it me next? I don't know. I think it is. Is it me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. Or is it
Why
Duke?
not?
I don't know. Duke? No, I think it's you, Duke, because I talked about necro shit, didn't I?
Okay, Coreborn. It's funny because Next Fest seems flooded with games that are either roguelikes or survival crafting games. And I love survival crafting games. I'm not crazy about roguelikes. So you'd think I'd be really into the survival crafting games. The problem is a lot of them are shit. And this one's kind of shit. Yeah. There's
Coreborn.
Coreborn. It spends a lot of time telling you about the story, which doesn't really matter. Like, do you care about the story in Minecraft? No, nobody does. And I actually had a student fight me about that recently, but whatever. Anyway, the point is that this game takes itself way too seriously, and it's a small studio. And I saw a little video. I don't know if something on Next Fest. They were playing some video where they were talking about how small the studio was and how they don't have a lot of voice acting for whatever. Anyway, the point is, it starts you off in this city, and there's this little gremlin guy who's taking you around and talking endlessly about how, well, the core unit that we have is keeping us safe and blah, 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 blah. And I know I'm going to be dumped out in the wilderness at some point, so I don't know why they're taking you through all of this, but they are, so whatever. And then you get dumped out in the wilderness, so you might want to skip ahead in the video or whatever. And it's like any other crafting game. You have to start by knocking down trees, and you have to get wood, and then you have to put resin together. And you have to get resin to put together your first axe, so you can actually take down trees. Because at the first part, you're just using your hands to get through bushes and stuff. Yeah, the resin is really hard to find. And so I spent literally like 10, 15 minutes trying to get resin. And there was somebody in the chat who was like, resin's everywhere. And I was like, well, I'm just an idiot because I'm not finding it. And he's like, where are you? And I was like, right near trees. Because there's some, if you look at the crafting manual or whatever, it says resin is found anywhere there are trees. So I was like, all right, I'm near trees. And so the guy goes, no, it has to be in a forest. And I was like, well, how am I supposed to know that? So I look on the map and there's actual like forest areas. So I go there and I look around for 10 minutes. I'm like, I still am not finding resin. He's like, it's everywhere. I'm like, it's not everywhere. Shut up. God damn it. The point is, I eventually found some. And then there was this big monster that came attacking me, and I just had a club, and he just decimated me. And I was like, oh, well, that wasn't fun. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. And I realized it felt like something else. I was like, what did it feel like? I was like, duh. It felt like Valheim, only not fun.
It looks like Valheim, yeah.
You know, I thought Valheim as soon as I saw it, to be fair.
Yeah. It wants to be Valheim, but it's not. It doesn't have the same strength of
So
character
what you're saying
that
is
Valheim has.
it's Valheim, but a bit shitter.
It's really
Valheim
is, yeah.
Light.
So I reinstalled Valheim and I started to play through
no.
that again. And yeah,
Yeah, we
they
should have
made
carried on
Valheim
playing
better.
that. We had quite a lot of fun that night when we played that
It was
game.
decent. Yeah,
It was
that one's
decent.
good.
We had fun.
So whatever. Anyway, Coreborn.
Yeah,
Not
forget
good.
that.
One down.
I played a game that I really wanted to like, but I came away from it thinking, I don't know whether I do. I don't know. It's called On Guard.
And
Guard.
yeah.
On the Guard.
Fencing game.
It's a fencing, but it kind of is, but it's more of a third-person Batman-esque Assassin's Creed style-y combat game.
Is this a next fest? Is this a next fest?
But done, yeah, it is. And this though, it's quite polished. It looks nice.
Looks
the
very
graphics are
polished,
pretty good. Movement's fine. The combat is so sharp, and the animations are great. You know when you
It
sort
looks
of
Fable.
yeah, Fable-ish art style. I would definitely agree with that.
Kind of floaty, runny sort of stuff as well.
Yeah, but the actual combat's way better than Fable, and even getting around places, it's pretty good. I wasn't expecting as much as I got, right? Because I was thought, this is going to be a bit shit, and it isn't. The combat's great. The like dodging, there's parrying, there's like special parries. There's all these cool things you can do, which looks, and it keeps it quite simplistic. It's only on about 3 buttons, but they have like multiple things you can do with them, which I kind of liked, and it just looks good. And then I got to the final boss fight of the demo and died about 15 times. I'm like, oh fuck it, I'm turning this shit off. But I think it's just because I sucked at it a bit. I don't think it's the game. I can't blame the game for it. I'm just wasn't that like when I got to the final battle, and I'd barely died up to that point. I'd like killed everyone, and I was working out how to parry properly and how to dodge and do these follow-up things and like counter attacks and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing all this shit. So when I got to the final boss, I'm like, right, this is going to be easy. I'm going to, kick the ass of this dude. And you're sort of fighting him, and then it sends in all these other soldiers to fight at the same time. And he does these unstoppable attacks on you that are like glow red, and you have to dodge. And if you miss, it takes like a full bar of health. You have like 3 bars of health or 4 bars of health, and it takes like a full one in one go. I'm like, fucking. And like, he only has to do it 3 times, and that's it. And then you don't get hit again, and you're like, oh my god. And the minute you get hit, you're dead, and then you have to do it all over again. And I just ended up getting frustrated, even though I was really enjoying it and thought it was really well made. I don't know, but I'm hoping the proper game's a little bit more forgiving. I did put it on normal, so I didn't start on easy, so maybe that would have made a difference. I don't know. But I like it. There's a lot of little flourishes, even when they do On Guard, just this little flick with the sword. It's very cool. But yeah, if it's still available, I would definitely recommend checking it out, because I do think out of all the stuff I played, this was pretty good. It was actually something that I thought, yeah, you know what, this is pretty polished. So there you go, On Guard.
What about the big purple arrows telling you where to go? That seems a little weird, but...
No, that's it. So when you start the game, he's like, don't worry, I will guide you through the city. And sort of that's what so he draws these graffiti-oed arrows everywhere for you to follow to get to him. So that's why that's what all that is. And it just shows you where to go, really. And I thought it was pretty good. Kind of impressed. On Guard. So yeah, this could be one to keep an eye on. By the way, I should say, can I just say, and I don't know whether I mentioned this already. You remember the last time we did Next Fest? We played Dredge. Remember Dredge?
Yeah, I remember Dredge.
Lewis, my friend Lewis, who we play nerdy board games with.
Mhm.
So far, he says that's his game of the year. He's played and finished it. It's,
Wow.
like, it's my game of the year. It's that good.
Okay.
So I'll keep
It
an
was
eye. I'm
decent.
keeping an eye on
Yeah.
Dredge because it's getting a lot of props. So
Fair enough.
might be something to keep an eye on.
Okay.
Um,
Chinny, you got anything else?
yeah, Chinny, anything else from you? Chinny's
You were
died.
muted, but I think you
sorry,
probably
yeah.
said no.
Yes, I said
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, there is something else.
Oh,
Go
there
ahead.
is.
I
Yes.
said the opposite of what you thought I said.
Right. Now you can start talking about it.
Okay. Started a
Okay.
game. Started a beefy game today.
Oh, what
Okay.
like proper game?
Proper game.
Ooh.
It was,
Necro Golf.
Yeah, it was.
Don't think I spelt it right. Okay, whatever. But it's let me lower the volume because it's gonna be loud. This is my gameplay, by the way. You'll see in a sec.
Okay.
I started Resident Evil 3.
Whoa, that is a beefy game.
Resident Evil 3.
Ian, it's not that beefy, to be fair. It didn't take that long to finish.
Yeah, I
that.
got a lot of slack for coming out like a year after Resident Evil 2 remake, and
Yeah.
it wasn't as big. But the actual original Resident Evil 3 wasn't as big as Resident Evil 2 anyway.
Yeah, so that's in keeping.
Yeah, but like I feel like this game got a lot of slack because of that reason. You know what I mean? Because Resident Evil 2 was so good that this just felt like a DLC. Do you know what I mean? This felt like, and since then we've learned that actually Resident Evil 2 and 3 were supposed to come out at the same time. So you think actually that would have been a better package? You know what I mean? That would have been something. And maybe it
Yes,
wouldn't have got as
this
much
does
slack.
feel like an extension of 2. It does
does,
feel
yeah.
like a little bit more
does.
game.
But I tell you what, because there's been some distance and I sort of heard of all that already, this is fucking brilliant. Right?
Oh, it is good. It's good
This
fun. It is good fun.
brilliant. The graphics are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, this game is already 3 years old and it's absolutely gorgeous. Right?
I've got to say, Capcom are leading the way in
That's the
showing
way.
how
That's
to
the
make a
way.
remake. This is how you make a remake.
Yeah, yeah. So you've got Nemesis chasing you around now instead of like Mr. X or Dr. X or Dr. Dave. I don't know what his name was, right? But the guy from the other one.
Yeah, I think it was Dr. X. Wasn't it?
Dr. Dave, right?
Or
So,
Mr.
so
X or
now you've
something.
got like Nemesis Nigel, right? Following you around, right?
Nige.
He's all pissed. Nige, right? His name's Nige, right? And this intro where it starts off with a bang, this game, and it's like Nigel's after you, right? I don't know why, but
He is.
for some reason, Nigel fucking hates Jill Valentine, right? Just fucking hates her.
Yeah, he wants to kill her big
wants to
time.
kill- I don't know why. He's like, I don't know, maybe he knew her before at like a checkout or something, and she was rude to him or something. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know what it was, right? But he does not like this woman. And it's a great intro. But it goes from first person to third person for no reason. I have no idea why. But the very first part of this game is like first person. I was like, weird. Then you meet a character called Carlos. So Carlos, you remember Carlos? Stu has that hair.
I do, Carlos.
Very impractical hair.
Yeah.
Very impractical hair. Look, there's fucking zombies everywhere. What does Clementine do? Look, what does Lee do to Clementine? Cuts her hair.
Cuts all her hair off so
Even-
the zombies
even-
can't
wanna
grab
get
it. now.
grabbed.
Even Jill has got like hair behind.
Yeah, fairly short.
Like
fairly
she's got
short
short hair,
hair.
but she's tucked it behind her ear. Like Carlos, his hair's flapping around all in his front of his face. Don't like Carlos because of look, just sort the hair out, shave it off, or wear a headband or something. You get introduced to this guy, and I was like, I've never seen this guy in any of the art, anything. He's obviously instantly going to die. He does, and yeah. So you meet Carlos, and there's one line that I like because Jill Valentine's like she's quite a good character. I think Stu. I like her. She seems
Yep,
like a
yeah, it's
badass.
pretty good.
And
Solid.
there's one line that I liked where Carlos gives her a radio and he's like, "Oh, you can use this to talk to me," and Jill's like, "I know what a fucking radio is, you fucking idiot, you stupid
dick."
idiot," and she looks at him just with this look of like, "You fucking arsehole," right? And I like it. I like that. The map is one of the best maps. I forget how good these maps are in these Resident Evil games, but they show you if something's red on the map, it means there's something in the room that you can still pick up. It shows you what the items are if you hover over them in the map. It's It's all dynamic. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Love it. I'm about probably like two hours in, hour and a half in.
Yeah, it's not long. If I remember right, it's only about 6 or 7 hours long. I don't remember it being massive.
The first bit is like streets, and now I'm in the sewers, and I don't know why, but Resident Evil fucking love sewers. Like they just they go, how soon can we get the sewers in? They at least wait to the second level. I was like, no, we want them now. Let's get Jill in. And even Jill's like, the fucking sewers, you know. And this one seems more gross. This one, because there's these like weird aliens that like basically.
You haven't played Resident Evil Village yet, have you?
No, I haven't played that. But
oh my god, that's so good.
But there's these like weird bug things that basically get off with you. Like they just snog you and put parasite. Yeah, look they put parasite. It's fucking disgusting. And this game looks like it fucking smells. Right? It just smells. This game smells. It just stinks.
I like that.
This game smell it through the.
It's totally true.
And there's a line where she goes, "Fucking," like she walks into this like terror. She's like, "Jesus Christ, I'm fucking," you know. And I thought it did a good job of like, this is fucking awful. This is grim. I don't want to. And then when you go in the sewers, she's like, "I'm burning these clothes." So it just paints this world really, really well. Amazing game, fun ride. Hasn't been a dull moment yet. It keeps picking up the pace, and because the game's short, it's throwing weapons at me. I've already got like a grenade launcher. Right?
Oh yeah,
and
yeah. You're fully kitted out.
There's a
after
fucking
about
weapon.
3
Like,
hours.
go. And I've already run out of bullets like twice, and I've died quite a few times, and all that sort of stuff. And there's one section I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get past this fucking nemesis, Nigel. I don't know. Nigel's in my way, and he's
Nigel. Oh god, he's
like,
a
I
nightmare.
don't know
Nigel.
Nigel, I need to get around you. He was like, no. And you know, I had to like use these like electric things to get around him, and then there was this like big thing with a bug on its head that got me. And have you seen? Remember those, Stu? Like, they've got like bugs on their head, and they basically
It's a while since I played it. I played this when it came out.
They basically
It's a
just
long
sort of
time.
like suck on your head. It's like really bizarre. The game is fucking gross. It's gross, but I'm loving it. Resident Evil 3. I think it got a lot of flack for being smaller than 2, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine.
It's still compared to some of the remakes we've had, you know, after this has come out. It's still the gold standard.
It's the gold standard, and
it is.
2 was a lot more. Here's an area you can explore, and there is a little bit of that, but it's very mini, short. Do you know what I mean? It's like here's a small area. You it's got to be pretty obvious, like where you've got to go, and you've got to get there and back, and whatever. I'm totally for that. That's fine by me. And you know, I'm a huge pussy, so like these games like do scare.
Yeah, you hate horror games.
I know, I do. I'm so scared of them. So yeah, it's. I don't know. Like you know, Duke, you don't like horror games, so you're like, why am I playing this fucking game? I don't know, but it's so good. It's so well made.
And you can probably step back from it in a way that I can't. Like I get too caught up in the feeling of it.
I don't know. Sometimes when they're latching on my head, I'm like, oh god.
Again.
Yeah, but then you die and then you come back. So actually, the death part isn't that bad. But yeah, Resident Evil 3, very good. Hoping to there's a baby on the way. I don't know if you've heard, right? But I'm
got to get this bloody game played.
I'm gonna get these games done.
Gonna get done.
So yeah, love it. And yeah, just such a pretty game. So I just wanted to, you know, people were saying like, oh, just skip to Resident Evil 4, but this is great. This is brilliant. You know, this is.
It is.
Why would I miss like another experience like this? Like,
you definitely need to play Resident Evil Village.
I will.
So
I think I might play, in terms of Resident Evil order, I might play Resident Evil 7 next.
Is that? Have you not even played that?
I've not even played that. It's the one in the house.
Oh my god, that's so good. That is like a horror movie.
I know.
5 hours.
That's going to be worse, but.
Yeah, it's horrible. The first 5 hours of that game are just hideously horrible.
So yeah, which just sounds great, doesn't it? So I want to play that, and then I'll play Village, and then I'll play.
And then later on, it becomes more Resident Evil game. But the first 5 hours, they went completely horror, completely out there. You know, not like a Resident Evil game at all, just like a bloody Texas Chainsaw Massacre game.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think the scares are as scary in this as they are in 2, because when you've got that Mr. X, Dr. Dave walking around in 2, like that is some of the scary.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
You can hear him. You can hear his footsteps, can't
Whereas
you?
these, you know, like, and I knew this going in, but like Nigel, Nemesis Nigel.
Nige.
He's kind of like, okay, this is the section where he chases you, and you've just got to kind of figure out how to get around him. So
Yeah, he's tough as well. He's tough as Nige.
tough
He can
as
take
hard-
some beating.
He's tough as dog's dicks, Nigel.
He is. He's a
so,
tough dude.
Yeah, see how I get on with it, and but no, so far I'm loving it.
No, I did enjoy this game. I quite liked it.
Yes.
It was just short. It just felt very short. I was like, is that it? Am I done? Well, yeah, it's good. Good game. Well, I've only got one more game to talk about. One more demo.
Go ahead, talk about it.
Which Duke also played, and
I played it.
It's called Venba.
Venba, yes.
Venba. And it's kind of an Indian family emigrating to Canada in the 80s. Is
Yes.
kind of the premise of the game.
It's exactly the premise of the game.
That is exactly the premise of the game.
Precisely it.
I absolutely love the art style of this. I don't know what you're going to say, you Duke, but I kind of like.
No,
this
I don't have a problem with the art style. I thought it was pretty fun. It's kind of paper cutout style art. Yeah, it was fun. I was cool with the art style.
And I quite like the story. Well, I don't know what Duke's going to say.
I don't mind the story. I actually kind of found it charming, but I will say this. Women are not allowed to be ill in stories except for one reason. The only time they're ever allowed to be ill in a movie, in a TV show, in a video game is if they're pregnant. So as soon as someone is sick, if it's a woman, it's like, oh, she's pregnant. And that was the case here. As soon as it came on the screen and she's like, oh, I'm not feeling well, I'm like, okay, she's probably pregnant. And
that's possibly true, but then also that is the reason that they then have to stay in Canada because they're thinking about going back home. And it's
yeah,
like,
no,
oh,
absolutely.
I don't know,
That
that's a good
part
idea.
was fine. I found that they packed some interesting story into a little bit of game. The mechanics were interesting.
I like the cooking mechanics, but were great. Having to
it's fine.
layer everything up and put everything in the right order. And then I did it, and I'm like, and it's like, oh, that's not quite right. Something didn't work properly. And I quite like the fact that it was her mum's way of doing it. So that was the reason she didn't really know
I
how
was not expecting this to be a fucking cooking game.
It's a cooking game.
Oh, right, okay.
You'll be making idlis.
It's got cooking in it. I mean, most of the demo is not cooking.
No,
but
it
there is a
isn't.
part in it that's cooking. So it's a cooking game in the same way that Stardew Valley is a relationship game.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
there's
And I
that's
like,
a
like when
part
you
of
first
the
get the recipe for the idlis, it's like there's a bit blanked out, like smudged, so you can't quite see what it says. And I'm like, no, you've got to put the cloths on the thing. That's right. Let's do that stuff. Right, it's all done now. This will be work perfectly. And then you've got to put the water in at the bottom and stick the lid on. And then he goes, oh, that's not quite right. And when they first come out, only the bottom ones are cooked.
Yep.
And I'm like, why is only the bottom ones cooked? What's going on here? And then obviously, then like, you've got to rotate the things so that all the steam holes align with all the idlis.
Yep.
So it's kind of cool little mechanic, that you've got to
Sounds
rotate.
great.
No, I actually really
Fucking
like
hell.
this. And I think you could have some legs from a narrative perspective as well.
It could. I mean, yeah, there's possibilities here. I think that it's hard to know. You know what I mean? So I might play it. I'm not gonna race out and get it day one. But yeah, I did like the art style enough, and I thought that they did some interesting things with the story in the time they had. So
Yeah, they did. They gave you a chance to get to know the characters a little bit. He's a bit like, oh, I don't know what. He came across as a bit wet, if I'm being honest.
Wet?
Almost a bit like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I need looking after because I don't know how to do stuff.
That
myself.
right, and that's the other. I didn't necessarily want to bring this up, but since you mentioned it, like, why the Duchess has a big thing about this, and I think it's a good question. Why is she with him? Like, what does she see in him? He doesn't seem to bring much to the table at all.
Don't
Now,
tell Tara this
we don't
because
have-
Tara.
That's true, dude. But as you know, in a lot of Indian cultures, it's arranged marriages. So bless
I
her,
don't
she
think
might
this was
not have had much of a
arranged.
choice. She might not.
I
have
don't
much
think
of a
this was
choice.
arranged, and it's not just this.
Well, we
I'm
don't
not trying to
know.
pick
We
on
don't
this
know
game.
that, do we?
You're right. We don't. But for you to jump to that is not legit. Anyway, the point
of course
is,
it's legit. That's part of the culture, Duke. It's not like a wrong statement. That is something that happens in Indian culture
it's an
and Asian culture in
assumption
general.
in this
It's
case.
not an assumption. It happens
You're
in
right,
a
it's
lot
not
of
an assumption.
cases.
You're right.
It does happen in a lot of cases. So that could be the reason. I'm just saying. I'm just giving a reason why it might be.
You're right. It might be. The point is,
I
in
didn't
a
say
lot
it
of other
definitely
stories-
was, by the way. Can I just clarify? I said that could be the reason.
My marriage was arranged.
Yeah, yeah.
Duke's gone.
My point is
Okay.
that in other stories like Stranger Than Fiction, the Will Ferrell movie with Maggie Gyllenhaal, there is often this assumption that this romance is just a foregone conclusion, and the reason why she, it's usually the female, is interested in the guy is up in the air if it ever comes up at all. So I just felt like he was so helpless. He was so like, I'll just eat something from the coffee machine.
Yeah,
for
it was
lunch."
very like, I'll
She's
just
like,
drink
all right,
some.
I'm deathly ill, but I will claw my way into
Yeah,
the kitchen
yeah.
and
I
make
did
at
feel a
least
bit sorry for her
3
about that.
times in order to get them right, so that you don't starve to death. That was a little annoying, but whatever.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
there's more good stuff about him later on in the story.
Yeah, maybe he gets stronger. You know what I mean? As becomes a better man.
I've read
Could
ahead
be.
actually, and he's a Nazi.
Oh wow, that's surprising.
Wow, that was a bit
Although
of a
Gandhi had some really
that was a
horrible
bit-
things to
bit
say
left
about
field.
South Africans. So.
Yeah.
Just saying. Jesus, didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah, I didn't want
All
to spoil
right.
it, but I thought it was relevant to the.
Moving on. Anything else about Venba? No.
No, I
Right.
quite liked it. I thought it was pretty good. It was,
Okay.
it was
You'd be
good.
pleased to know that this art style doesn't make me want to vomit instantly.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
But the game looks
All
like
the reading that you have to
but
do
the,
does
but the
make
game does look like I do want to vomit. Though,
Yeah, you
because-
definitely wouldn't like this, Ginny. I
See?
can.
All right.
Consistency.
I got 2 more to
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about.
yeah.
I got 2 more to talk about. One is a demo called Lab Rat. And I don't know if I actually downloaded this during Next Fest because I was just looking at my favorites list on the left side. Not favorites, the things that weren't in my favorites list. Anyway, I don't know when I downloaded this, but I downloaded it, I played it, and it's got a good aesthetic. The reason that I say it has a good aesthetic is because the aesthetic is Portal. So they looked at Portal and they said,
Ah.
yes, let's use that aesthetic in our 2.5D box pushing around game.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if you ever played Sokoban back in the day. Like it's this game where you push boxes and you have to do them in a certain order because once you get them in the corner or whatever, they're done, right?
Okay.
So this game, Lab Rat, is kind of like that. You are a person. The portal element is there's this big claw that talks to you, and she is very much like GLaDOS, and she's doing tests and all this stuff, and you have to lug this little box around, and you have to. Like they introduce these, they call them guns, but they're not really guns. They're just sort of lasers. And the lasers don't kill you, but they can charge you. And then once you're charged, if the box gets charged, I can't remember exactly how it worked because I played it a few days ago, and it's a weird mechanic. Like once the box, okay, so let's say the south facing wall of the box gets hit by a laser, right? That's shooting upward. Okay, so then that south wall of the box is charged.
Okay.
And sometimes you need to get the south part of the box charged in order to put it back on the platform and finish the level. Sometimes you need to have the right wall of the box charged, left wall, etc. So you have to move it around and get it charged. And then if you get charged, then I think you can't touch the box on that edge or whatever it is. So it's a weird mechanic. It doesn't work very
So
well.
this is all
There's-
sort of like isometric view, top-down view, isn't it?
It is. It is. You're only moving in 2 dimensions, really, but you can hop over the box.
Mhm.
So there is that. It just it felt like they were relying so much on this charging mechanic that wasn't really very fun, and therefore it just felt like I don't know. It didn't go as far as they wanted it to.
It
go.
looks confusing.
It
It is
does. I'm
confusing.
trying. What is this guy trying to do? I don't know.
It's kind of funny at times. Like they do a good job mixing in that humor.
Oh, I know what to do.
but-
I just figured it out.
But the puzzle dynamics are kind of dumb. So I was like, I played all the levels. I couldn't finish. There's a couple levels that are like bonus extra, tough, and I couldn't get those. So I was just like, whatever. I give up on those. But yeah, it was cute for a while. Yeah, I wish they'd designed more interesting puzzles. I guess.
It's so frustrating because I'm watching this guy. I'm like, I figured it out. Just do the thing
Yeah.
that you're gonna do. But
Right.
hey,
well.
I don't know, yeah, it looks. First of all, I'm disappointed that a game called Lab Rat you don't play as a rat. Look, that
Yeah, I
immediately
know, right?
fucked me
That
up.
would be great.
Right? Because there's no reason why you can't play as a rat. You're playing as a little guy.
No.
Why
Yeah.
can't you play as a little rat?
true.
Second of all, yeah, it does look very Portal-ish.
Yeah, aesthetically it does, doesn't
Aesthetically,
it?
I don't know. It looks like playing a puzzle game, but like with like sluggish mechanics. Like that's what.
It's not even that they're sluggish; it's that it's just I don't know. They feel weird and not too fun. So I don't know. Anyway, moving on. The other game that I played is one that I bought
Oh my god.
because it was on sale, and it's called Hoko Life. And Hoko Life had some mixed reviews, overall positive, but the mixed reviews said this is trying to be Stardew Valley, but it's for kids and it's too simple and this and that. And I was like, I like games that are simple. I'm gonna give it a shot. So I gave it a shot, and oof, I should have listened to the negative reviews for once.
Oh,
Just
no.
just because a game has a lot of positive reviews does not mean it's a good game. Now, I'm not saying this game is shit, but it's shit. No, it's not. It's not. It's just it's very slow. It is. I think it is designed for kids. It is slow.
I like his running. These little running animations.
It's like skipping.
He's
It's
got
like-
a little
Yeah.
cute little.
It's
whee.
cute. The graphics are great. I like the way it looks. I wanted to like this game, but you know, there's loading screens like in between parts of the town. You have to wait for things to load.
I don't like.
which
There's a
is just
green pig.
ridiculous.
I don't like the green pig.
I don't know
So
why a
it's-
green.
I
pig's
don't know. That
used
freaks me
all the
out a
time.
little bit. I don't like the green pig.
It's very basic in terms of like, you know, you start off in the store and the guy and the dialogue is there's so much dialogue. It takes itself way too seriously. It's like, "Oh, welcome to town. You must be new here." "Yes, I am new here." "Well, we're glad you're here. Where did you come from?" And then you have two choices about like I think one of them is can't remember, and then one of them is like, you know,
Hell.
the next town over. Come from hell. For your soul. Anyway, and then it's like you can sleep upstairs in my spare room for tonight, as you would say to someone who just shows up. in
Complete
town.
stranger.
Right, exactly.
This is,
Don't kill me.
This isn't great for kids, though, is it? Really? Like, you just invite someone to your house.
Just let them
Just
live
let
in
'em
your
come in.
upstairs room. You can stay in my basement.
Yeah.
So eventually the guy's like, "Oh, there's an abandoned house you can live in. You just got to clear the trees away." And I'm like, "Okay, fine." So, or branches. There's a bunch of branches all over the place, but you can't clear them until you get the quest. So I go get the quest because as soon as you go up to there, you have to meet everybody in the village first. And I met like 3
Fucking hell.
people, and I'm like, "There's like 3 people." I'm like, "Wait a minute, there must be more people in
What?
the village." But I met the third one, and it goes, "You've met all the people." I'm like, "What?"
But why do you
It's a
have to-
village of 3 people.
Why do you have to do? I don't even know my fucking neighbours. Do you know what I mean? Like, why do I have to make the village?
Because this game is trying to give you the community you don't get in real life.
Yeah,
now.
you got to live the Hoko life.
Yeah.
What's the matter
No,
with
you
you?
gotta live the
Yeah,
chilly life
Hoko
and be
life
like,
for life.
you just see your neighbours
Yeah.
while you're doing your bins and you nod and you move on.
Hoko life. What's an H on? Anyway.
Hoko
life,
motherfucker.
So I go get the quest, and then I go back to the abandoned house. I'm picking up all the branches, or I guess I'm using an axe to break the branches or whatever. And then it's like, "Oh, you took all the branches," and then you go back to say, "I got the branches," and they're like, "Oh, the house is ready for you to live in," and it cuts back to show you the house is now like clean, I guess. But as soon as it did, it crashed to desktop, and I was like, "You know what? Fuck this game.
Yeah, you couldn't
too
even
slow,
load
too
it up
buggy."
again.
It's teaching kids a
Too
lesson
shit.
not
I
to
just want to say,
bother with
fuck
it.
this game. I'm done.
Yeah, right. So Hoko Life, I refunded it. I've really been taking
Do you think
advantage
it
of
would be a
Steam's
good
refund
option for
policy.
kids, or should they just play Stardew Valley and get over it?
I think they should just play Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Like, there's no,
Or even
there's no
if it was-
reason to play this
it
instead.
reminds me of that Disney game. What was that fucking Disney?
tell you what,
Dreamlight,
we've
whatever
Dreamlight
it is.
Valley.
We've got a new
Yeah.
employee at work, right? And she fucking loves that Disney game.
Yeah.
She
Really?
on her
Yeah.
lunch, she's always playing. I'm like, you're the only person
It
that I've
reminds me
ever
of
seen
that.
play that game.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny about that? You mentioned it. I work with someone. I teach with someone who is really into Disney. Like she does Disney cruises all the time. She's been to every Disney World in
Oh,
the world
yeah.
except one. So like,
The Disney
I can't believe I didn't
crackhead.
think to tell her that. Yeah, she'd probably love Dreamlight Valley.
Yeah.
So
That's what it reminds
Anyway.
me of, anyway.
yeah. So anyway, I refunded it and I bought House Builder. Oh no, I didn't. I didn't buy House Builder. I was going to because that's on sale, but I bought a different game which I will tell you about next week.
Ooh.
Because I haven't played
Okay.
it yet.
Okay.
Are we done with
right.
games?
Yeah.
I think we're done with games.
You know, I was
We're
gonna
done with
bring
the games
something
we
up.
played.
Right, I watched because I said at the start of the show, I watched a bunch of those like fucking showcase things. You know,
Oh, right, yes.
you know, with the things.
Oh right, the
and-
With
previews
the like
about upcoming
Nintendo
games.
Yeah.
preview or whatever
and
bollocks.
all that shit.
Yes.
And the one game he looks what's it, StarCraft, that looks fine. Looks like it's gonna be good. But the one game I was like, fuck me, that looks great, is the Star Wars Outlaws game. Like,
Yeah, it looked interesting, but I didn't get enough of it to understand what it actually was.
it's an open world Star Wars game.
It kind of looked like that, but I don't know. It's fucking. Is it
looked-
Ubisoft? It's
Yes.
Ubisoft, isn't it?
It
Nothing wrong with
looked
Ubisoft. Don't be
bloody amazing.
It's just Assassin's Creed with a new skin.
No, it's
That's
not. You
fine.
can't get
I
in a
would play
fucking
Assassin's
spaceship
Creed.
on Assassin's Creed.
Well, that is kind of true, I guess.
Right. Fucking hell. I was like, because they get in the spaceship and they fly up into space, and she has a full-on fucking
Yeah, but the
space
dog fighting looked a bit ropey.
No,
I don't
it
know.
didn't.
I don't know. I'm
Oh
totally
my
convinced.
god! How can you play a game like The Goon and go, "This is the best game"?
No, I
ever?"
haven't played. I haven't played
Then
Outlaws.
you play,
have I?
you
So I
play
can't,
Star. You look
know.
at Star Wars Outlaws.
I
You're
was
like,
just looking at it.
it looks a bit ropey. I'm like, fucking hell, you're mad.
No.
There's a little nod to the because I think my opinion on Star Wars is like
It could be cool. It
This-
could be
I-
cool.
I
I'll give you
tease-
that.
I tease Star Wars a lot because at work I'm always like, Star Wars is fucking stupid. The only thing they've got that's cool in Star Wars is laser swords, right? As soon as they figured out laser swords, they're on to a winner, right? That's cool, right? And some of the movies are good, most of them are bad, but I think I'm going to stand on this pedestal. There are more better Star Wars games than there are movies. And
You're probably right. You're
I've
probably
had
right.
such a good time with Star Wars, video game related. Movie related, very little good times, right? The episode 4 is boring, 5 is good, 6 is okay with the teddy bears, I
Why
guess.
you gotta hate so much?
Right.
man?
Episode 7, I thought that was alright, but it was a remake of 4, it's like a better version of 4. The 1, 2, 3, they're all trash but kind of like funny in a way. And like the other ones I haven't even watched. Right, Rogue One I think I watched, but who cares? And that's it. That's the Star Wars movies are trash, I think. But laser swords are cool, and the video games are cool. And that Star Wars Outlaws, I thought that looked fucking brilliant.
It does look interesting. I will give you that, but
I thought it was amazing.
I'm always wary of polished demos and
Yeah.
all
There
that
is a
kind of
bit of
stuff.
that. Yeah, but I like the the
Yeah.
bit where because she kind of looks a bit like Han Solo, and there's a kind of the Greedo thing where Han shot first and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Like in the gameplay, like a Greedo type alien. I don't know what the name of the alien is, right? But comes up to her and she's like, oh, and then she fucking shoots him like a Western, like absolutely point blank. Like it's like a hand shot first gag.
Yeah,
but,
and not reverse like.
But
they
like,
did
not
in the
reverse.
remake.
It's like
Let's
no,
get
she
rid of it.
fucking definitely shot him first. Right? So I just thought that was good, and I just thought like it's like an Uncharted open world fucking Star Wars game, like unbelievable.
It could be good. It could be
Unbelievable.
good. Could be
Unbelievable.
good.
So but the Star Wars games are like the Unleashed games are great. Knights of the Old Republic game. Like I only really played the first one, but not much. But like
There have been bad ones too.
there's been bad ones, but like Rogue Squadron was great.
No, they made a lot of good ones. I'd
the
say probably
Fallen Jedi Order, whatever it was.
like there's a higher percentage of good Star Wars games than other franchises.
Yeah, it's
suppose
true.
Shadow
And,
of
and
Mordor
don't forget
and-
the Lego Star Wars games. They're all great.
They're okay.
Yeah, I don't know
They've
if
got a
those
time to
necessarily
play. They're not for
count.
me anymore.
They're
but
all
like
the same, but
yeah, but
Yeah.
they're successful
But-
and they're fun. But
yeah, there have been some good Lord of the Rings games.
I'm talking like top tier AAA Star Wars games. They're
Yeah.
brilliant,
Right.
brilliant. And
Yeah.
I can't knock Star Wars too much because I've had so much fun out of it. And I remember playing like the Phantom Menace, like the first episode game, and the Attack of the Clones on the Dreamcast with Marsh. And
I
we
played
had a
Attack of
fucking
the Clones.
we had a great time playing those games. So it was
Yeah.
it's so much fun. So I've had loads of fun with Star Wars. So I'm
Fair enough.
hyped for Outlaws. Everything
Hey,
else at the Game
I'm a
Fest
Ubisoft
thing.
fanboy, so yeah, you know.
I don't know. I don't think there's anything else that really stood out. I watched the Alan Wake thing finally, Stu.
Yeah,
And I was like, bloody hell, that looks a lot like Resident Evil, to be fair.
yeah. No, it
uh,
looks good. I'm quite excited for the new Alan Wake too.
Yeah, I thought that looked okay.
I found out an interesting fact about Alan Wake actually the
yeah.
other day.
Oh, yeah.
You know the opening speech where he says about writing horror stories or something. He does this big monologue at the beginning of the game when he's arriving in the town.
Yeah,
It was from a article that Stephen King wrote.
of course.
So they approached Stephen King and said, "Look, we want to use this at the beginning of this game. How much is it going to cost?" And Stephen King, like he does with a lot of shit, guess how much he charged them to use it?
Bugger all.
$1.
$1.
$1.
It
I
does-
knew
yeah, it
that
does that
because
with-
he just set up a new thing where he took a bunch of his stories that have never been used for movies and lease them out to independent filmmakers. So
Yeah.
it's a cool thing that he does. He's a cool guy.
Maybe
And he did
because,
that-
You know why? Because he's fucking loaded. That
He did that with the Shawshank Redemption when Frank Darabont said, "Look, I want to make this into a movie. How much is it going to cost me?" And he went, "You can do it for $1."
$1.
And he charged him $1.
Hey,
A
there
dollar
you
to
go.
make the movie. So there you go.
He
That's how
ain't,
much
he ain't
it
struggling
cost.
though, is he? Yeah.
I mean, he
No,
got
no,
he
he
probably
does
got
all right.
residuals once the movie was
yeah,
made.
I imagine so.
But you know,
Oh,
upfront,
sure. But I mean, like for the rights to do the movie, $1.
It does annoy me how much Alan Wake looks like Keanu Reeves. I don't know why,
Yeah,
but he does.
He does.
He
He does.
does.
He does. Yeah. Now you've mentioned it. He
just
does.
remember Keanu Reeves and John Wick? Let's make him look
It's
like
just
that.
John Wick.
It's just John Wick.
Alan Wick.
Alan Wick. There you go.
Alan Wicker.
Yeah. So that puts me off a little bit, but it's a pretty looking game. I don't know. All the other games look fine. There's some other games. There's like a kind of Bioshocky one. I can't remember what
Yeah.
it's called, but they're all fine. But that's the thing. What we've learned covering games for 15 years is like it's often the games that you don't see that are the best ones. Like
No,
coming-
you're right.
You know what I
No,
mean?
you're
Like,
not
you're just
wrong.
like, I never even knew this was a fucking game, and there it's here. It's the best
Yeah,
thing. It's the
and it's
most-
amazing.
and it's like the like phenomenon, and we never saw PUBG come in and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Tends to be the
have-
case.
Do we have
Tends to
emails
be
and
the case.
stuff?
We've got some emails to do, and we've
Ooh.
got a speak pipe which I have sent to Duke.
Ooh.
But shall we do the emails first?
Whoa, that ruled.
First email this evening is off Tainted Brain, and he says this.
Teddy Brain.
He says, "Howdy all.
Hello.
Hello from rainy season in Japan.
Oh.
Not much rain, to be honest, just dull, hot, and humid with occasional rainstorms.
Ooh.
Sounds a bit like here, to be honest. Got two questions for you all, and the number one question is this: what game did you like a lot, but was panned by all the critics?"
I'm having trouble thinking of one off the top of my head. I'm sure there have been some.
CSI.
Oh, you love the CSI games,
Fucking
didn't
love
you?
that game.
Fucking love
Probably
those
Quantum of
games.
Solace. I don't know if that got loved by the
I
critics.
don't know whether it got panned by the critics. I can't remember. It's that
Yeah,
old.
it probably isn't remembered as like a. I've got a good one. I've got a good
Go
one.
on,
that,
go on,
that
go on, go on.
I love. Everybody hates. It's LA Noire.
LA Noire, yeah. Oh, yeah,
LA
that did get
Noire.
quite a bit of stick, didn't it?
Yeah, LA Noire. I've just got this soft spot for it. It's like a detective game. You just don't get that stuff.
But that guy is a psycho, let's be honest.
Yeah. Great.
Total psycho. I'm trying to think. I'll tell you, I've got a good one that initially got panned by the critics, which is Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite like, even though I felt like it was going to break at any second and I might not finish the game, I kind of enjoyed it, and the critics hated it. You know what I mean? So
Well, it's more performance based, though, wasn't it?
yeah, it was. Yeah, it
Really
was.
Yeah.
To be fair, but I think
They
the
didn't
trouble
hate the
was,
look of it or anything.
I think the trouble was how good the game was. Kind of got lost in all the how shit it worked. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that was the problem. Because everyone was so focused on how badly it performed, that everyone forgot that it actually had a pretty good story, good voice acting, and pretty good mechanics when they worked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Cyberpunk for me is probably that game. Duke, have you got one? Have you thought of one?
Quantum of Solace is as close as I can think of right now.
Yeah,
it is
you
70% on Metacritic, which isn't bad. But yeah.
Yeah, it's not terrible, is it? I don't suppose it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tainted Brain says for me it was Mirror's Edge games.
Okay,
The atmosphere,
like
the
that.
graphics, the color scheme, the music. I loved it all. The story was decidedly dodgy, but that's what happens when you bring on a story team near the end of a project. I guess that's that Rihanna Pratchett could pull together. So there you go.
Shinny, was
Cla-
he glitching out for you too?
He
or
was.
that just
I
me?
got most of it.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Just making sure. Wasn't
Sorry,
It's all right.
I can only apologise.
it? So you have to be better
second-
now.
Second question. I guess you've all been asked this before, but I forgot, so I'm going to ask it
It's all right.
again.
Hit it. Let's
What
hear it.
was the worst game you've played?
Well, the worst gaming experience I ever had was Heavy Rain, as you can see in the little cartoon that everyone knows. But I don't think that's fair to say that's the worst game because that was a very subjective thing.
Yeah, I think I probably know the worst game you played, Duke.
Killer's Dream, probably.
A Killer's Dream. It's
Yeah,
got to
Killer's
be,
Dream.
hasn't it?
That's it. It was. I mean, it barely even call it a game. Like, what a piece of shit. This was on X. For those who don't know, this was on Xbox Indie Games, whatever. Once upon a time.
Yeah.
And it was made by someone who just they didn't know what the fuck.
They
were
made
doing.
some classic crap games.
Silver Dollar Games, was it? Wasn't it?
Yeah. What was that? What was that?
They had one called Blow that was actually good. And then
Yeah,
they had
One
a
Finger
bunch
Death
that
Blow.
was
One
shit.
Finger Death Blow. That was pretty good.
That was okay. But I don't know what the fuck.
They made
some
up
of
No
them were just-
Luca No. Do you remember No Luca No?
No Luca No. Holy shit. That's in the running. That's
I mean,
right.
like,
beneath
those, they're not
Killer's
games, are they? Really?
No,
not even really
no,
games.
Do you know what I mean?
Luca
It's
No.
just
Oh my
like-
god.
So
I can't believe
atrocious.
I remembered what that was called. I was
Brush
just
the
racking my
game, you
brain.
brush the cat away. That's the whole
Yeah,
game.
No Luca No.
You know, it's just-
Oh my god, they made some terrible, terrible games.
Yeah.
But I interviewed the guy, and his explanation was that he just wanted to make money to make an actually
Hey,
decent game.
hey, you put your name on something, it's fair game for criticism. I wanna
Means
hear
to
that
an end.
shit.
That's what he said.
What means to an end, my ass.
So he
Shit
could
games
make
to
One
an
Finger
end.
Death Blow.
Hey, you know what? I could be rich if I were to make out with Satan, but I'm not going to do it.
Maybe he could.
I'm not
Maybe
going to
he
sell
could.
my soul. I got integrity.
Well, yeah. As for mainstream games, I think the worst mainstream game I've ever played is Duke Nukem Forever. If I had to pick a mainstream one, you know, that
Looks pretty bad.
It
Never
was
played it.
fucking horrendous. Yeah, terrible, terrible game. That game should have been left unmade. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah.
Should have left it where it was, left it in its box, still half made, and that would have been a better way of dealing with it. He said, for me, it was I'm in love with your dead grandmother. I've never heard of
What?
this. Have you heard of this?
No.
There's a game called I'm in love with your dead grandmother. I played and platinumed it. It's worse than you could even imagine. The theme tune is slightly catchy, but the game is just beyond dreadful. Here's a link below if you really want to see what it is. I think you need to look this up, Ginny. I've never even heard
So
of this.
what was the name of it? Sorry.
I'm in love with your dead grandmother, apparently.
Oh yeah. Okay, it's cool.
He says, finally, it's so good to hear a certain voice again on the show. Welcome back.
The top video when I put into YouTube, I'm in love with your dead grandmother, says, I'm in love with your dead grandmother, platinum walkthrough, and then the hyphen, do not buy this, and the poo emoji. So,
Wow.
this is a guy just doing
something.
all he's doing a platinum walkthrough
Of a terrible game.
Oh, okay. It's like an FMV game.
Uh,
Oh my god, it looks terrible.
Derek, sounds like a great guy.
Sorry, hold on.
Sorry, I just had you mentioned Derek, and so I had to.
Yeah. I thought this was like a sketch, but this is the game. Like I thought this was like some sort of sketch, but no, this is actually the game. It's just like it looks like a student project, or like it was filmed in a park. I mean, it was filmed in a park on an iPhone. Wow. Yep. Okay. I'm not sure what to make of this game.
oh my god, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
Again, it doesn't even look like a game,
it's not a game.
but he kind of looks like Chinny a little bit.
Thanks.
Is that Chinny?
It's not, it
I
doesn't
know,
look
right?
anything
He
like that.
does kind of look like you. Yeah, he does. I'm sorry. Facial structure, hair.
No.
Yeah. If you had a creeper mustache,
I could work on it.
you could make yourself look like him. I mean, he dances like you.
That's true.
So,
I have never in
all
my
right.
life
So,
seen
I'm in
anything
love
that
with your
looks
dead
as
grandma. FMV horse garbage.
Yeah, that looked
Thank
really,
you for letting us
really
know about
terrible.
that terrible game, Brian.
Terrible game.
Yep.
Okay, it's that time of the week. Do you want to do the speak pipe first, or do you want to play? What does it mean? What do you want to do?
Let's do what does it mean?
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, it's kind of a quiz game.
It's time for the quiz. It's time for the quiz. We play the shitty sound clip when it's time for the
Even
quiz.
though there's no points or anything, it's still sort of quiz.
Okay, here we go. The first saying this week. Are you ready, guys? Here we go.
Yeah.
Come up trumps. Come up trumps.
I imagine it's cards, isn't it? It's got to be cards.
Well, yeah. Bridge. I'm going to guess bridge is where it came from.
Yeah, well,
And it was designed by some children in the 13th century.
well, you're
playing
both
bridge.
wrong. Can I just
Okay.
say, this is a very recent saying "come up Trumps."
Really?
Yeah, it originated when Donald Trump became a billionaire. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then
Interesting.
people, when you do well at something, they say you've come up Trumps because you like Donald Trump, you see, because he's a billionaire.
Yeah, and he's a
Come up
role
Trump.
model, isn't he? Like,
A role model, perfect gent.
Yeah.
You know, he's someone to aspire to. So you've come up
Correct.
Trumps.
Are you
There
trying
you
to get
go.
a rise out of me, Agent Kuyan?
No. And here is the real reason for this saying. Are you ready?
Ready.
Go.
Come up Trumps is a variant of turn up Trumps, which has been used since the 17th century. Trump is a corruption of Triumph, which is the name of a popular card game during this period. So I would have said you're both correct. So there you
Okay.
go.
There we go.
So it comes from a card game called Triumph, which is also known as Trumps. Okay, the next saying is a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush.
Two in the bush.
What does that mean?
Well,
Where
I
does that come from?
mean, I know what it means. It means you shouldn't bother going for something. Don't go chasing waterfalls, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a bird already. Don't go risking your life for two of them. Where does it come from? I imagine it's safari. People in safari in Africa.
Okay.
I don't know.
I've got an idea of what this means, to be fair, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
I think this is something to do with poaching pheasants. And I think it means, like, if you've already got one, it's not worth risking getting caught by the gamekeeper trying to get another two that are still in the trees or in the bushes. Is what I think.
The one you already have is likely to fly off while you're trying to get the other two.
Oh, possibly, but I do think it's something to do with poaching. Like, you know,
be.
sort of stick to what you've got rather than trying to be greedy and get caught by the gamekeeper. That's what I'm going for.
The game.
Yeah.
The gamekeeper. So here we go. The answer is
we go.
this.
Okay.
This medieval proverb comes from the sport of falconry.
Oh, interesting.
Were the bird in the hand, the preying falcon, was worth more than two in the bush, the prey. That makes sense. So I was totally wrong, by the way. It's implausible.
Oh, it's okay. It happens.
It's okay.
It's implausible. Now, I think this is usually the last one, usually just three, but here we go.
Okay.
Have the hair of the dog that bit you. Have the hair of the dog that bit you.
The hair of the dog.
Well, it's
that
the hair
bit
of dog is the first drink in the morning, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, yeah. So if
Yeah.
you've been pissed the night before, you have another one in the morning. So
I
supposedly
actually
sober
looked
you
this up at one point. There was an old folk remedy for if you got bit by a dog, in order to not get rabies or distemper or whatever, you take some of the hair of that particular animal and you put it in the wound or something.
Is that true? Have you? Or are you just
I
making
think
that
that's
up?
what I read. No, I actually think that's what I read. Now, I'm not saying that's definitely the case, but
I quite
according to
like
what
that,
I
though.
read,
That's
I
good.
looked
I
it up
like
once
it.
upon a time.
I
That's
like it.
where the phrase came from.
Yeah, almost like an old wives' remedy of how
Yeah.
to stop yourself getting rabies.
Yeah.
I quite like that. Chinny, any guesses?
Uh,
There is a dog that bit you.
no, not really. No.
I think we'll go with that. I think that sounds pretty good. Sounds
Yeah.
pretty good. Let's see. Are you ready?
Ready?
So the hair of the dog comes from. The term for a hangover cure is another medieval saying belief that once it's a dog, the victim be cured by applying the same dog's hair to the wound. You're but absolutely spot.
Wow.
Hey, how about that?
Wow.
There you go.
The first use of it being applied to drinking was in John Haywood's 1546 tome, a dialogue containing a number of the effect of the proverbs in English tongue. Thank you and good night.
Okay.
So there you go.
Wow, that's an old book.
That's pretty good. I'm
Yeah.
impressed. You got it. That was
Hey.
spot on. Spot
Sometimes
on.
I know things. Very useful
Well
things
done.
too. Yeah.
That is totally. Next time, dog.
You are breaking up a lot, Stu. by the
You
way.
are breaking up a lot now.
Oh yeah, the internet's been a bit shit lately here, so I
Apparently.
do apologize.
Well, you
I was
are
worried about
northern.
my power going out.
Yeah. Right, let's do the speak pipe and then we can get the hell out of here.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Speak pipe, it's the way to leave a message for us.
And this is from Saint Diesel, our homeboy. 96.
Hey, veteran gamers, it's Saint Diesel back again.
Hello.
I wanted to go this week into a little bit of retro, and not necessarily just video games. Could be anything. Could be any sort of entertainment. Could be books. books, could be television shows, DVDs. I guess they're retro these days.
Yes, they are.
Clothes. See lots of people with what you would consider as retro clothes. Even some of the charity shops I go into locally, they have a sign to the effect in the window saying, "Get your retro clothing here." I guess it's trying to attract maybe the younger crowd in there to find some interesting retro clothing. But I have been collecting over the last 18 months or so since the pandemic eased up quite a few charity shop music CDs. I know CDs are probably considered retro these days. I don't think the veteran gamers collect them anymore. I don't know how long it is since you bought a CD, but I've heard Fraser on the Seal podcast mention about CD collecting. But I think at the moment I've got roughly, about 2,000 CDs in total. I've been selling off my record collection. We've still got a few bits of vinyl left, but that's probably going to be gone in the next couple of weeks. But my question for you this week, a bit of a long-winded way to get around to it, is have you got anything that you would consider retro that you collect for, not necessarily video games? And that is it. So goodbye for now.
Yay, thank you, Derek. Saint Diesel, whoever that is.
Yeah, not Derek. It's not Derek.
It's not Derek.
It's not Derek.
It's very much not. I have something. It's actually right next to this. It's not a collection exactly. It's a collection of one, but it is something that is very retro. I don't know if I've ever talked about it on this show. You guys know what it is?
Not a clue.
All right, I'll get it and
The
I'll hold
mist
it up.
thing?
No, that's not retro.
It's heavier than the mist thing.
Okay.
It's my typewriter.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a Smith Corona, old school, all manual. There's nothing electric in it. Because we watched a documentary called California Typewriter, something like that, and it features like Tom Hanks is like crazy about typewriters. He's got like 30 of them or something.
Yeah.
And so this documentary was about a shop that repairs typewriters. And I was just like, I don't know, something about the mechanical forms of making words appear has always appealed to me. It is tactile, right? It's a machine that forces this metal bar through a strip of ink, and you feel powerful when you. So I was like, I'm gonna get a typewriter, and I started looking into it. There was a shop that had opened up. This is like 4 years ago. There was a shop that had just opened up in our town that sold all sorts of retro crap. So I was like, oh man, maybe they have typewriters. So I went in and they had a typewriter. I was like, yeah, I had like 4 of them actually. And I was like, this is the best one. I'll take it. And they were like, all right, if it doesn't work, let us know. And the guy will, help you. I think he made sure it worked before he put it on sale. But if you have any problems with it, we can. Anyway, so I was like, awesome. So as I was carrying it to my car, I realized I am the ultimate hipster. I put my fedora on and carried my typewriter to my electric car. So that's the most hipster sentence anybody's ever said.
Definitely.
There you go. Have you actually typed on it? Have you used it?
Oh yeah, I went through a period of time for like 2 years when I wrote a letter like every week. I went nuts with writing letters on it. I don't do it as much these days, but I might have another burst at some point. So, yeah.
Very good.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm very much sort of modern technology, so I don't really collect anything that's will be considered.
I mean, you have probably old gaming consoles that you just don't play anymore.
Not really.
You still have a 3DS or anything?
No, the only thing I've got an original Game Boy, and every now and again I will fire it up and play some Tetris on it. So it just still works. It's still working. That's about as retro as it gets, I have to say.
That's pretty retro.
If I had loads of money, I would probably collect old watches. I am very partial to. I love watches. I'm a big watch fan. And I have quite a few. I have quite a few modern watches, but if I had some cash, I'd have a sort of old Omega. You know what I mean? I'd probably.
Marshy likes watches. He's a big watch
guy. I love watches, and I quite like simple watches. I like a nice automatic movement. But I've got quite a few. I've got a few quartz. I've got a few automatics. But I do like a watch, but they're not really retro. I like retro-looking watches.
Well, I mean, they are retro in the sense that most people don't wear watches anymore.
See, this one I've got on here. This one here. This is based on an original World War II Army watch. So this is a field watch by Bulliver,
Okay.
which is an American make, and they made all the original watches for World War One and Two for the American Army.
Okay.
So, and this is based on a 1968, 69 watch thing. So I don't know.
That's
It must
pretty
be-
retro, dude.
Yeah, but it's not
I mean,
really
it's not,
retro.
It's not.
It's
old,
a
but
reproduction. It's a reproduction.
Yeah, but still, a reproduction is retro by its.
But I
nature.
love it. I love the aesthetics. It's very simple looking, but it's
Yeah.
really nicely styled. You know what I mean? Like attention to detail, like because people don't realize this. Like, I'm going to get very nerdy about watches now.
Going to
but
get.
but even though this is quite a simple looking watch, like the way it's polished, they do upward strokes on the sides and then crossword strokes on the top. So the brush steel is different directions on the sides and the top and stuff.
Wow,
I know that's
that's
so nerdy, but
pretty
I
nerdy.
know it. No one else would ever notice it.
Well,
I know
that
it's
sometimes is the most fun stuff.
Yeah, so I love all that kind of stuff. And it looks, I know. And I love a good movement. You know, I like a good automatic movement. But my favorite, I don't really rabbit hole much on YouTube, but my favorite rabbit hole is definitely there's quite a couple of guys who repair old watches and take them apart, and they're just fascinating. You know,
Well, I will say that there's a Reddit that I subscribe to, is oddly satisfying, and they have some of people fixing old watches, and
Yeah.
that can be very satisfying to watch them take it apart.
Oh,
with
it
tiny
is.
little
They take it
pieces
apart
and then
piece by piece.
clean
and
it up.
What
Yeah.
amazes me, especially with these old vintage Rolexes and Omegas and stuff, when they take the back off, they look absolutely battered, you know, because they've not been well looked after. And they take the back off these things, and they're as beautiful inside as they are outside. The polishing, the attention to detail, you know, like every cog is so brilliantly made. You know what I mean? And it makes you understand why these watches are so expensive in the first place. Because
Yeah.
it's just so much workmanship just goes into everything about it. You know, every little thing about it is just so refined. But yeah, fascinating. So there you go. That's my
you
nerdy
go.
sort of thing, I guess.
Chinny, you got old consoles, don't you?
I got some old consoles. I gave some of them away. There was I play in a poker thing now, in a league poker. And there's a couple that go, a husband and wife, and their child who's 8. He's a big fan of retro consoles.
Nice.
And I've got like 2 Super Nintendos. I got my original one that I grew up with, and I got this other one. And I said, look, I don't know if it works or anything, but I've got one, and he's just fascinated with them. And I was like, I got a few games with it, and I never touch it. It's in a box, like, have it. So I gave it. So I donate. I'm not that precious about some of them. Like my Nintendo 64, I'll keep forever till I die, because that one is the one that I saved up for when I was 11. You know, and I had to wash cars and stuff to do it, and 150
Yeah,
quid.
it's a lot of sentimental value.
150
there.
quid when you're 11. It taught me how to save money, right? And then
Yeah.
that's the one where I went to the shop and I bought the thing, and my dad was like, "What about the games?" Like, I was like, "I haven't got the money for the games. I was just going to buy the console and take it
Don't
home."
worry, I've got the console.
And I was genuinely happy to just to go home,
And just
open the
look at it.
box, and just stare at it. And my dad couldn't see it happening. He was like, "I can't let you go home with it for like a game." So he bought me Mario 64 and Mario Kart. So yeah, which I think is about the same price as the console, to be fair. Like, but he just saw the effort and was like, "You know what? You deserve a game." So yeah, that one for me is like, it means a lot. I got my GameCube as well. I love my GameCube. My original Super Nintendo, I've still got that. I wish I kept my Game Boy, my original Game Boy.
I've still got mine.
I got
Do you
rid
know
of it.
that means a lot to me as well, I guess, because Kay
bought it, yeah.
Yeah. It's the only. Well, she's bought me 2 gaming-related things my entire life in the time I've known her, and one was Oblivion. She bought me for my birthday.
Yeah.
And the other thing was the Game Boy, and she just
Yeah.
surprised me with it. And it was our first wedding anniversary, the first year after we got married.
They're not collectibles per se, but they're sort of like that console.
And it still works. It just shows you how well made they were, because it still works now. And that's I've been married for nearly 30 years, so it's like nearly 30 years old, and it's still working.
And I've got like some games that I've got that I would keep, and I don't know. I've got a Wii in there, but that's not my original Wii that I had bought, and I'm not attached to it. But so I think Armar wanted it when I'm done with it at some point, and I haven't forgot he wanted it. But so I'm not that attached to it. So
I've got a PlayStation 1 in the attic.
There's a PlayStation 1 over there.
We a load of games.
So yeah, I think mainly it's the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64,
Yeah.
and the GameCube I'm going to keep forever. The other ones, and I've got a few games. I've got a few Xbox games that mean a lot, like the original Red Dead. Like I love it so much that I can't let go of the game. Or GTA 4. Like I've just got this massive love for GTA 4. So
I was quite annoyed when I went to my dad's house after he had his heart attack because I was like, oh, I'm going to go up in the attic and pull all my old stuff, see if I can find my ZX81. And he had a fucking clear out and got rid of it all. I went up in the attic and we're all gone.
You left
my
it there.
Astro Wars,
You
Scramble,
left it though. You left it there.
I had a Donkey Kong game.
If you'd have cared enough, you'd have took it.
Oh, I know. That I had all that stuff. There was Astro Wars, Scramble, a Donkey Kong Game & Watch, a ZX81, and an original Sinclair ZX Spectrum up there. But they were all gone. They were all gone. They were empty. So I was like, where's all my shit gone that were up here in bags?
I don't really have a collection of anything else. I'm not a big hoarder. I'm really good at like throwing things away.
No, I'm not. I must admit, I just get something new and chuck. I either sell it or get rid of it. So, if I'm upgrading something.
Not much for sentiment, really. I've got a few things that I've had since I was like a baby and stuff, but like a lot of stuff I just get rid of. I don't like having tons of stuff, but
no.
You're
not attached. You don't get attached.
All that stuff on that table is giving me like. It's like triggering.
Yeah, you need to get rid of it. Like, so it's got to go.
It's there because it's like I'm getting through it. So, and that thing there, that box there, is my old Switch, and it's like, it's gonna go. So, like, I don't care about holding on to things too much. So, yeah, that's about it, really.
Fair enough. Right. I guess on that note, we need to do some shout outs and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, let's do some shout outs.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
Shout outs. Right. Duke, go first. Off you go.
Yeah, I will shout out Amar. He's been having a little tough time lately, so keep your head up, Amar. Thank you for sending me music. And he sent me Informer the other day by Snow, which is a crazy song. And I had not seen the Jim Carrey parody, so he shared that with me as well. And I shared Frontier Psychiatrist with him, the Avalanches. Mwah.
Oh, yes.
Anyway,
great song.
yeah. Shout out to everybody in the chat, Darren and Soul Brother #1 and Amar and Antonio and Sean and Mr. Signs. And yeah, thanks again to Ben for filling us in last week. And everyone listening, if you haven't been in touch, why not send us an email? What's the Gmail one now? Podcast UK?
VG Podcast UK@gmail.com.
Correct.
Okay,
that is it.
That's it. And do a speak pipe. You can go to veterangamers.co.uk and then down at the bottom there's a little icon.
Yeah, do a speak pipe like Derek does. Yeah. Not Derek. Not Derek does. Right. Not Derek. I'm going to shout out, right? And I've been watching a load of Glastonbury stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because I do like. I want to go at some point. So it is on my bucket list to go to Glastonbury one year.
Go now.
But I'm going to shout out Rick Astley.
Oh yeah.
What?
Because he did a pretty good. I don't know why we watched it. It was on. I was like, come on, let's watch Rick Astley. And the dude played the drums and did Highway to Hell by AC/DC, right? And it was fucking brilliant. Because he started talking to the audience. He's like, I'm gonna sing a little song now. I learned this on the drums in my dad's greenhouse. It's the first song I ever learned on the drums. I really wanted to be a drummer. And I broke the record. I played it that much to learn the song. I broke the record. And he got on and he turfed the drummer off the drums and he got on the drum kit and he fucking killed it. He absolutely killed it. It was just brilliant. He was twirling.
Well, I did not expect to hear Rick Astley killing it on
Rick Astley knows who he is. He's
fully
aware.
He does. I mean, he has to.
Totally. But what was cool, right? And I love this when this happens. He was on the 12 o'clock slot, which is kind of the kiss of death. Right, because nobody goes, and he was on the pyramid stage though, so he's like, my life's fulfilled. And there was hardly anyone there when he first started his set. It was fairly empty. But what was cool was as he was going along, people just kept migrating and eventually, just before he finished, there was quite a lot of people there. And I'm like, that's kind of cool that he just said some funny. He was a funny guy. He was funny as well, so I was kind of impressed. So there you go. He's never going to hear it, but I'm shouting out Rick Astley, the legend. Never going to give you.
He's also never going to give you up.
No, I did the joke because you were doing it. Sorry, we joke clashed.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, I don't know who's next now.
Chinny?
I can't remember. Chinny.
I'll shout out to Chris Hadfield.
Oh, okay.
Do you know who this guy is?
No,
I recognise the name.
Chris Hadfield. has rotated around the Earth 2,400 times. He's
Ah.
an astronaut, and me and
Yeah,
my
he is.
dad went to see him
on
Friday night.
That's cool.
We went to see him.
Did you tell him he's wasted his life because he's never
Yeah,
buying
did you
his
say
tangible
what is the
back?
point of all that?
That came up. Somebody asked that question.
There you go.
Because like he's a people that don't know, he did a lot of missions on the space station, and
Yeah, I knew his name.
he got very famous for doing David Bowie's Space Odyssey in space. He made a
Oh.
music video while he was
Nice.
in space.
Nice.
And that rocketed him, pun intended, to a lot of fame. And now he writes books and fiction books and stuff. So,
Cool.
yeah. And somebody said, and he was quite a young guy, and he was like, "What do you say to people that say, oh, space exploration is a waste of money and time and all this sort of stuff?" And he said, like, he can't do the exact numbers. I was like, I thought about you. I was like, he can't do the exact numbers, but he's going to simplify it. He's going to simplify the numbers, right? So if you get like $1,000, right?
Yes.
How much of that $1,000 goes to medical healthcare, and how much of it goes to space?
Well, I would imagine it's $1 to space and $999 to healthcare.
Stu?
I've not a clue. I've not a clue.
It's
But
4 cents.
4 cents, not
Yeah.
even $1. Wow.
And he says, if you look at the ratio,
yeah.
that's probably about right. I mean, space exploration is important, and it's good for the humanity to keep progressing, because humanity has always tried to explore, so it should.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, healthcare is very important, so we're spending the majority of the tax money on that. And he's speaking for the Canadian government. He wasn't speaking for America or Britain or anything like that. But he's like, that's a very, very usual case. And Neil deGrasse Tyson talks about this as well. He talks about, like, actually, like, if the government doubled NASA's budget, it would still be, it wouldn't even be a percentage of, like,
0.01% of it.
yeah.
Exactly.
So and if they did double it, even though it's such a low number, it would make such a difference to NASA. But
sure.
they don't, because they recognise that it's important, but it's not major. So, like, in terms of ratio and proportion size, they've probably got it right. So, fuck you.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's what he said. That's a good answer, you know. But
That's pretty
he's
good,
an
pretty
astronaut, so he should know the fucking answer. So, but he's
Yeah,
he's
pretty
had a
good.
fascinating. He was a combat pilot, and he was an astronaut, and then he did like 3 missions to space, 6 months at a time. And he talks about how you lose like 8% of your bone density when you're in space, and what that's like. And he showed clips of like the landing, and he talks about how he spent 5 years in Russia, and he lived in Russia, and he loves Russian people, and he hates the criminals that run it now, and he's just a guy that's like got a lot of personality, because there's been loads of astronauts. Do you know what I mean? Loads of astronauts, but he's a guy who's, I think he relishes the fame. Do you know what I mean? He's up for it, and he embraces it, and he's made a really good career out of being an astronaut, because he's written books, and he's a good guy, very funny, and he even sang the song at the end, so that's nice. So and he's a good singer.
All right. Jenny, I'm sorry. I have to ask.
Come here.
What the fuck is happening? Is that a PS5 there rotating back and forth behind you? What is going on
No,
with
we
that?
said this last time, didn't we? When he had his family, it looks like a PS5, doesn't it?
Oh,
Yeah, we mentioned this last time. We
Okay,
mentioned this
sorry,
when
I
he
guess I
got it.
missed that
Can you
last
see
time.
that?
PS5,
Can you see,
yeah.
you can see it there. You can't see it on the stream. You can't see it on the stream.
Yeah, we said this
right,
last
okay.
time. It looked like a PS5.
It looks
didn't we?
exactly like a PS5.
Yeah,
It
we
does
said
look like
this.
a
It
didn't
looks
we?
exactly
Fair
like
enough.
a PS5.
I was just like, why would you have it on a lazy Susan? Like,
I know,
yeah,
it
it's
makes
just
a lot of
showing it
sense
off,
when it's a
dude.
fan.
My
so-
fan,
showing it off.
my fan
Odd
looks
shape for a fan.
exactly like a PS5.
It does. It does.
I think I made a video
Still
or a
can't see it on the
TikTok.
stream.
I think I made a TikTok or something about it.
About it
I was
looking
like,
Dude, you should make a TikTok where you smash it, and then it's like, what?
I was like, I
fuck,
wonder
we
where
smashing
like
a
the
PS5?
Sony PlayStation got the idea for the design, and I just
Yeah,
point
did
to the
this
fan.
fan come out before the
Yeah,
PlayStation
it
5?
definitely
is the
did.
question.
I was like, it's uncanny how much it looks like.
It does.
It's
It just
amazing.
looks like one.
It's amazing.
All right.
Well,
Well, that solves that mystery then.
Yeah.
All right, are we done? Is that it?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay, thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you
All
for
right,
listening.
show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you just switch off the television set, go and do something less boring than staying at home, watch TV, hurry up, it's no good to me. Won't you? Why don't you?
Yourself.
The ball is groin.
It works at so many levels.
So, Chini, what's the update on the t-shirts then?
I'm literally like, it's basically the Amazon merch store just wasn't working. So,
Right.
I know we're still on the show, right? So, Amazon have this like merch on demand service where
Yep. I saw it. I went through it all.
Yeah, you can set up a shop and people can buy stuff on there and it works.
One at a time. It prints to order.
But it basically wants you to be a legitimate business. So it's asking for all these things. And I'm like, we don't have that stuff. We don't have that stuff. And you need an actual bank account, right? You can't use a PayPal account, all this sort of stuff. So I've gone back to Redbubble. So Redbubble is a really, really good service. And I'm pretty much, I was sort of doing it now because like I was trying to show you the shop.
Come on, let's have a look at the shop,
I can't. I have to like, because I've like a PayPal account. I've got a PayPal account, but it's like I never use it. But so I have to like link it with my PayPal account.
Can you just screen share and show it us?
Yeah, hold on. Let me. Yeah, but Redbubble is a lot more easier for this stuff. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a little bit more expensive in terms of where you buy stuff, but at this point, like what are we gonna do? So.
Well, I'll let you guys deal with this. I appreciate you taking care of it. I'm gonna sign off because I got to take care of some stuff. But
okay,
have a good
mate.
week.
We'll
Thank you
speak
for
to you
taking
next
care
week.
of all that. Peace out.
Bye.
See ya. Yeah. So, give me a sec. Give me a sec.
Oh, I saw the consultants on Friday, by the way.
We're still live, by the way. So whatever you're saying, still live.
Yeah, I don't care.
Who are the hemorrhoids?
So basically, he says because he thinks it was triggered by COVID, I might be fully recovered in 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I mean, he's not saying for certain, but maybe. But then I did get a letter. I had a patch monitor for 4 weeks, where it's like automatically checking my heart rate all the time. And apparently, and this is nothing to do with COVID. This was already pre-existing, but I'm generating 9% extra beats over the course of a day, which isn't good. So basically, it puts extra burden on your heart because you're not meant to be doing all those extra beats. So I've had my beta blockers doubled. So I'm sort of on double the dosage now.
Yeah.
To try and stop it. Beating too much. Apparently, on a few occasions, it went over 170 beats a minute, which isn't good either. But I didn't know. Couldn't tell. I wouldn't have known if you'd have asked me. So I suppose there's that.
Yeah. Well,
So hopefully I'll get more info when I go and see the specialist at Blackpool, I imagine, regarding that. So, but my consultant didn't seem too concerned. He was just like, it's all positive, really. Everything's going as it should be.
That's good.
Well, not as it should be, but in a good way. In a good way.
How does I'm trying to rush this. That's why it's like.
It doesn't matter. You can show me next week.
Yeah.
It's probably better once you get it all sorted out.
Collections. How does it work?
Well, honestly, don't worry. I've got to go to bed anyway. All right, mate.
I'll figure it out.
Just send us some screenshots on WhatsApp or whatever.
But I can't even get to them now. Like when you set them up, you see it, but then you've got to set up the shop and you've got to connect all your PayPal and everything. It's weird.
Oh well, when you've done all that shit, we can have a look, can't we? All right, mate.
All right.
See you soon.
See you in a bit.
Bye. Bye.